Oh, dude, I'm sick, man.
Always enthusiastic. That's what I love about you. I'm sorry to hear you're sick. Anyway, we're going to get started. I think this has been a very frustrating day for me. He's sick, but we're going to do this. Tome of Reckoning joining us late today, but he'll be in here. Maybe Elsie, who knows who else. Thanks you, Tome of Reckoning, for uh, liking us over on Twitter. See you in just a bit.
Hell, hell.
Well, a day of blessing and a day of curse. I don't know. Every day's a blessing. Uh, I have a job next Thursday to do that I'm going to get paid for, so that's great. Uh,
Oh, that's cool.
got my blessing the other day as well. It's like people knocking at the door, shoving money in my face. How about that?
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
Welcome to the show, Mr. Ethan Van Scott. I mean Levi Skeen.
Hey, Levi.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Sorry, guys. I
I crack
guess.
myself up with that sometimes, Levi.
I fall for it too. Uh,
Oh man, just send me the residual check, right? Oh
right.
man, the royalties. There you go. What's
Shadow,
the
how was
weather
work
there,
today?
Levi? Is it going to get cold there where you're at?
Oh, it was short and horrible. I woke up this morning with a fever about 102 or so, and I got to go in and open up every day. And
Oh
by the
wow.
time I got the doors open and everything turned on in the plant, we had 4 inches of snow on the ground. So I went out and shoveled all the snow until everybody else got in the building, and then I came home.
It rained most, yesterday. I don't know the streets are clear. If I think maybe more rain might turn into snow. I don't know. I know the other year when it snowed, Levi, I was up on, I have a little incline in my driveway, right? It's not much, but it is a little hill. And when it started melting, the ice sheet just slid down the hill with my car, and it wound up at the bottom,
Oh, wow.
almost into traffic.
Wow.
Jeez.
I wasn't expecting that. I was like, "Wait, I thought I never parked. What? How did this happen?"
Parking brake still on.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
My wife grew up in Edenton, North Carolina, and she says they don't even own snowplows in that town. You know,
yeah, I believe it.
I see pictures of her cousins in 4-wheel drive, Jeep wiped sideways in the ditch. There's only like 1 inch of snow on the ground. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. Wow. They
I
just don't know
watched
how to
some
drive over
idiot
there.
on the highway today when I was coming home, and he decided he was in a hurry. 4-wheel drive, big old Jeep, and he swung in front of me to go into the right lane to pass somebody that was in front of him in the middle lane, and he just about lost it, man. He fishtailed that thing all over the damn place.
Yeah. That sounds like me when I had a meeting down there. It was that I went down there the week
No kidding.
prior, and I had taken the wrong turn in North Little Rock and went way out of my way, like going to Forest City. Uh, and it was like, man, I'm on the road from hell. There's nowhere to get off this thing. I went for miles and miles. It seemed like forever before I could ever go up just to get on the other way to go the other way. And
Mm,
that week I had seen there was one cop turn off, in between connection.
mm-hmm.
Well, I had to go down there for another meeting the next week. I had my boss with me, and she was sitting there talking on her telephone. And I knew I'd taken the wrong road and was on the road to hell. I said, "Oh shit, I'm here with my boss. It's gonna take me forever." And in that 1 week, I was not thinking, Levi. 83 miles an hour. I just thought, boy, I'm gonna. Oh, there it is. I'm just gonna turn off and go right into the ditch. In that 1 week, they had put a cable up across there.
Oh no.
Oh,
I did not, make the thing, but I hit the grass, the ditch. It's like this. And I'd already done that years prior. And I knew not to, I just rode it out, but I fishtailed that thing 12 times before I got it back up on the road. It's like all the way over here, all the way over there, here. That's what I was doing. I was just thinking, man, we're going to flip this thing. But the angels kept us going, and it eventually, decreased enough where I could power it up, get it back on. Everybody was like in traffic going, whoa. They were like, give him some room, because he's doing that.
Either fire that guy or give him a raise. One or the other.
Yeah. I mean, that was the closest I've ever come to flipping. I've ran into ditches and, ice. Oh my gosh. I had an 83 Thunderbird that has rear wheel drive. Try and drive that on the ice. Oh my God. You're going to go, woo. Hey.
Yeah.
Oh man. I know at least 3 incidences on ice with that thing. I will never have a rear wheel drive again.
those are all fun when it's snowy outside.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're going to get it in the parking lot and just do donuts or things like that, sure.
So down there, when you guys test for your driver's license, you don't have the skid cars that you test out in. Like you can take the go when you're 16, you have to take the course, and part of that course is you got to get into those cars that have the back tires removed and have the wobbly wheels on them. And so you're just driving, and they'll do this course, and you come around the corner, and the instructor hits a button, and the wobbly wheels kick loose, and it simulates a spin out. You guys don't do that down there? Yeah.
No.
When do you think I was 16?
Well, I'm just
our driver's test contest. So, our driver's test was this: drive around one block.
Right.
Yeah. That was mine too.
I mean, even though when I was a kid, my dad took us to the empty parking lot, right, and just said, just go crazy with it, So, because that's how you learn how to control it in an emergency situation.
No, you don't. You go on vacation and you find one of those go-kart places. That's our bumper car.
There you go. Yeah,
I really learned to drive somewhat on the farm, where there was no one else to hit.
Right. Right. Yeah, but I was 12 when my dad taught me how to drive.
Were you really?
I drove.
Wow.
Yeah, I was. He drove tractor trailers pretty much my whole life, and that company hired me to power wash the trailers. So I had to know how to drive an 18-wheeler around the lot to the pad, power wash it, and put it back in place again.
That's good skill set to have, brother.
Yeah,
good skill set. Not everybody can do that.
No, you can make some good money driving a truck too.
Yeah, you
can. Yeah.
That's what my former roommate Mike does, and he's like goes, I mean, he hits some of that weather, but he can kind of pick and choose kind of where he goes, and he makes really good money. I think I told you he made about $1,700 a week or something like that.
Wow. Right.
I mean, to some people that may not be good money, but to the average person out there struggling. Apex, I meant to send you the link. I don't know if you're busy, but I meant to send you the link. And I just haven't gotten to it yet.
Man.
Well, Shadow, I'm sorry you've got 102 degree, fever.
Oh, dude, I don't know what got a hold of me, but something got me, man.
You're at work? Okay, well, I sent the link anyway. But, DVB wanted us to stream more, so it's like, sure, yeah. I'll send you a link more often. He wants to see you on here more, but I know you're working a lot of times listening. Appreciate you coming in, chiming in the chat. Carrie's finally here. Says hello, Jim.
Hey,
So
Carrie.
she's finally chiming in. What are you working on, Levi? I'm sure Carrie would like to see it, and I certainly would.
It's the park story still,
Okay, on
as
the same.
usual.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh boy.
Something new though. Double page spread.
Yep.
Those are fun, aren't they?
Oh, I love them. Yeah. It's I take advantage of that. I just kind of line the story up in a certain way so that when you open the page, you have
Yeah.
multiple panels on one side and the other, and then the story in between.
Right.
So kind of the park's big. I figured the page should be big or the story should be big.
I think so too.
So
Yeah. I think that's a
mhm,
good way to look
Yeah.
at it.
yeah. And this
Yeah.
is the chapter 4 here is the heel turn. If you guys
But
are
now,
wrestling fans.
Doc mentioned, oh, don't do 2 pagers or whatever, because you got to line it up with the printers, right? If you want, it's like, oh, you can always stick something in there to make it line up the story.
Even's always on the left and odd is always on the right. So I mean, you start off on page 1, it's the splash page, and that's page 1. You turn it, and that's page 2, 3, 4, 5.
Right.
So, and we got it broken up into chapters. As long as you don't break up the chapters with something in between it,
Right.
an ad page or something like that. So, no,
Carrie
I'm
says Levi looks
taking
redder
full
than you,
advantage of it.
Rex. Well, just embarrass me. I'll turn beet red. I can't hide it. When I get flushed very easily. Quit talking about his complexion. Could all be in the lighting, Carrie. I have struggled with my telephone all day long, Shadowhawk. Very frustrating. But
Just not.
God blessed me right out of bed at like noon. My neighbor come boom, boom, boom on the door, and I'm like, is this Yvonne again? Who is this? Because no one ever comes to my place except Mike or Elsie when he comes in town. But I know he's coming. But no
Right.
one ever knocks on my door except the mailman occasionally if I get a package, and then it's like, and then gone, but this is like boom, boom, boom. I'm like, come on, man. I know it's cold, it's windy, but you don't have to beat my door down. Yvonne did that the other day too. I'm like, what the hell, man?
Like, hurry up and let me in.
I don't think my front doorbell works.
Uh,
But it was time to upgrade. I went to Walmart and then I wound up going back to Walmart to get the new SIM card. I bought a plan for my telephone and then I couldn't, it's like, oh God, okay. So I got to go back for that. And I still haven't got it up and running. I'm going to have to do that after the show, but it was very frustrating. I didn't have one of
well,
those
at least you
little
have a new
tools.
phone.
No, I don't have a new phone, new SIM card.
Well, I mean, yeah, but a new plan where it might actually work.
Right. Yeah. For 30 days anyway. But and the same service I go with had this SIM card there, and it's like I guess to update to where you can do 5G or something. I don't know, but I don't know. We don't even have 5G around here, really. Yeah. Maybe on internet, maybe. I don't think so. Anyway, yeah, I had to get one of those tools just to get the SIM card out. I got the SIM card out. I finally got the new SIM card in. You're dealing with little delicate piece and little tray that you don't want to snap and all that. If you've ever done it, it's very frustrating. I just want to kill somebody. Anyway, and I got it in, and then I talked to her, and she's like, "Well, could you put in the old SIM card so I can send you a code?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna choke you." I would rather have your 102 fever than deal with this.
I doubt it.
I'm telling you, man. Hey, Timothy Olsen. Oh man, but we'll get it done. I had to remind myself, God bless me with a job today, for next week, so That's going to
Yeah, you
help
never
out.
did tell us what was the job.
I had to drive my neighbor over to the hospital test and wait and drive her back. She probably,
Hey,
I don't
Timothy.
think she, and it can get hair raising over there in Memphis,
Yeah.
but she might be too weak to drive back. So I don't know. Or under medication. I think that's why. So
Mm.
you want to kill somebody in Minecraft for extra? Right, right. Yeah. Did I say that? No. I'm joking. I don't want to ever be, but I went into I did go to the dollar store to get some drinks before, I went to the store yesterday and there were some things missing, like just shredded up lettuce, you know,
Hmm.
iceberg lettuce. They did have different types of lettuce, but that was gone. I went to get some onions. Those were gone. People stocking
Wow.
up because I that's all I can know, that people stocking up and maybe shortages on certain things too. But I think people stocking up before the weather gets really bad for a week or so. Who knows
How
how
cold is
long?
it there?
Well, it hasn't quite got there yet, but it's supposed to be like in the 20s probably tonight. It's supposed to get down to like either 2 or 6, a couple
Mm,
days. I don't know. It's going to be cold.
got you.
Uh,
Mm.
might get some snow out of this. I don't know if it decides to rain and, turn to snow. I know it's a big Arctic, dip right now,
Yeah.
and it's
The
affecting just about everybody.
my dad lives with me half the time, and the other half the time he lives down in Lewiston, Idaho. And they had a squall come through last night, and they had 4 inches dumped in like 2 or 3 hours, something like
Mm,
that. So
Yeah, so I was here this morning.
yeah, we got down to I think it was -6. It said it felt like -12 outside, is what the weather report said.
Woof.
oh,
So
yeah.
yeah,
That's the thing about it. Yeah, the actual temperature, what does it feel like out there, especially if it's blistery wind? It could be like 10 degrees or more below.
cut right through
What
your
the
jeans.
actual temperature is feel like, freeze you
Yeah.
to the
Oh,
bone. It's been breezy. It's still breezy here now. I've seen the leaves just blow. There was a bunch of leaves down. I don't know if they cut them down, but there were some big limbs across the street, down
Mm.
the first couple of them and some in the on the street, had blown in the street. Everything was blown around pretty badly last night. Rain, thunder, lightning,
Mm.
all this stuff coming in. But fortunately, it wasn't uh, cold yet. Just wet, not really cold.
Hmm.
Levi says, "Dump like you, Rex." Have you ever had a dump cake,
What?
Levi? A dump cake?
Ah,
You know what a dump cake is?
where you just pour everything in and just kind of let nature take its course in the
Yeah.
oven.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. You put all your
Yeah.
fruit in that you want, and then your dry cake mix on that, and then your butter on top of that. Cook it for about an hour and 15 minutes, and you're good.
Hmm.
It's pretty good. Quick make
Right.
for a cake.
Do you
I
Can't
do
still
raise
don't
good
know how that
food though.
works.
You still don't know how that works?
No, I mean, because when you follow the instructions on making a cake, it's very complicated. But apparently, you can just pour everything into a pan, dump some butter on it, and it comes out just fine. I don't know.
Yeah, it's try it, Shadowhawk. Try a very small one, with just a partial cake mix, either white or yellow. I like to use butter yellow, and then you know use a real butter
Uh,
on top. Make sure it's all covered so it doesn't scorch. If you want nuts on that, you can. Which I know you probably don't want nuts on yours, so but you could put like I've done some M&Ms. I don't know. I've tried some different. I've
yeah.
tried all kinds of like certain thicker, like mandarin oranges, they don't, you'd have to use a whole bunch of them, and I usually keep the juice in there too, but now you have to kind of take that into account too. I did one that had 5 cake mixes in it. It was huge. It was one of those
Oh,
big
shit.
turkey pans, Levi, for like Christmas for our
How long
church
did that
thing.
take to cook?
Well, I would like get the heat up, turn it off, let it ride down, get the heat up, let it ride down. You know, I spent time on that thing. Yeah, it was thick, and it came out like very condensed, almost like
Okay.
not quite like bread pudding.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was
Hmm.
more. It was denser than that, but it was apple, cinnamon, something. I don't know, but they ate half of it. I mean, which was a lot.
It
Yeah.
But
was
I had a
good.
lot left over too. I wanted, it was a big church gathering with a lot of
I was
people,
just
about 50 people or more, 80.
right.
When I didn't bring them to church, they would like burn me in effigy outside the church. They're like, next time you'll remember, Rex. They like my dump cakes.
Hey, there's just certain things that you're just required to bring.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Oh, I had one gentleman who's sadly passed away now, but he would buy them from me. Buy me to make them. He'd pay me to make him
right.
dump cakes. Usually apple cinnamon. That's what he liked the most.
My
That's the dump cake master.
The dump
My
cake
ki-
master. Yes.
have you guys ever heard of Uncle Dan's salad dressing? Uncle Dan's.
No.
It's
No, maybe.
it's like
I'm not a big salad dressing guy.
well, it's when it comes in a package, you got to make it. So
okay.
it's got a real you do it with
Mix it up.
buttermilk, and it's like a more buttermilk and pickly version of ranch. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, but it's called Uncle Dan's. That's the brand. And so at all the functions and stuff throughout the years, my kids have always grown up with my brother Dan bringing the vegetable tray to all the functions, right? And it was always a case of, well, Uncle Dan would make Uncle Dan's, right? And he'd bring
Right.
the thing up. And they'd go, oh yeah, Uncle Dan's bringing, Uncle Dan's. So my kids growing up thinking this was just a special sauce that their Uncle Dan kept bringing to these functions. And it wasn't until a couple of years ago I was showing the package. I'm like, literally, and they're like, seriously, Dad, we had no idea that,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, he was just required to bring the veggie tray every single time.
Your children are grown, aren't they, Levi?
Yeah. Yep. My son is 26 and my daughter is just turned 21.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
congrats.
thank you. Yeah. He does construction, and she's a junior right now at Whitworth University here in Spokane.
Oh, cool.
So,
I don't think we ever got out of you.
What is her field of study? Has she decided what her major is going to be yet? Or?
yes, yeah, it's something to do with communications. She is she goes around the country debating, right, for like tournaments and stuff like that. Right. So she's part of the debate team. Like in high school, how she got her oh shoot, I'm blanking on the words. They give you money to go to college.
Scholarship.
Scholars, thank you. It was she did FFA and FBLA as well, and then she did I'm blanking on that word now. Where you argue with people. Debate. Yeah, debate. I'm sorry, guys.
Carrie says, no way do you have a 26-year-old. None of us are drunk enough to believe that, Levi.
Totally do. Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Well, Shadowhawk got married at 16. I mean, I had my child when I was 19. I mean,
I had the baby at 16. I got married at 18. But yeah, my oldest daughter will be oldest daughter will be 40 next month.
Yeah.
The day before your lunch, right?
What now? Say that again. What's the day before
her birthday her birthday is Groundhog's Day, day before your lunch.
Wow.
Your oldest?
Yep.
Well, let me write that down. Got some new pens here. Yeah, Groundhog Day.
That's gotta be weird.
My little groundhog, baby.
Mm-hmm.
It goes quick.
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy, man. It
Mhm.
I don't know. It kind of worked out good though. Yeah, as you get older in life, because I'm not that much older than my kids, so we have pretty good
Right.
relationship and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
So I think
That does help.
I don't know. It was hard, starting out for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. It's always hard starting out.
Hail, crooked painter.
Got some new pens to ink with, Levi, and write with. I actually write with these this double tip pen that I like to write with on my
Mhm.
notes and stuff down on. It's just like
Oh,
double
got
tip.
you.
I don't know why, but I like these. I like both tips on these to
Hmm.
write with or to do, that way if I don't want to illustrate something to my words, like that's part of the notation. I have something, that's used for drawing. Then I like to use these that have the ink in the barrel.
Oh, yes. 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 I love those.
Love those. They
Hmm.
get so I got a couple new those and three of the other and wiped them out. Except for they had one more of these, but it was like not the sell price. So it's like, nah, I'll say that for later. So maybe somebody else will buy it. Get it.
That is Levi
Yeah.
from Tome of Reckoning, crooked painter.
What's up, sickos? He
Yep.
says. Who's the guest today? We have Levi. We have
Levi.
Tome Reckoning coming in. He was playing with his youngin, his
Oh
young
wait, I'm
person.
sorry. That's right. That's Levi's not Tome of Reckoning. He's Millennium Park. Is that
Galaxy Memorial Park.
There you
Galaxy
go.
Memorial Park? Okay, I'll
Hmm.
get it one of these days, Levi.
That's all right.
Among other things. I'll never get it. But anyway, you're lucky if
Hi.
I remember your name. Levi is a biblical name.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Priestly name. Tribe of Levi, for one thing.
My mom swore up and down for the longest time she named me after a country western singer, but
Yeah. Well, a lot of people, you may not know the old Western cowboy actor Rex Allen Jr. or is
okay.
that who it was?
Just
But my middle name's Allen, but it's spelled differently. And everybody's like, oh, did you name that after? No, I just like the name of Rex.
got you.
I found out my birth name because I'm adopted last year, Levi. Charles Edwin
Really?
Harris. Yeah. We were Harrison, but they changed the name. Actually, there were a couple Harrison presidents that I'm related to, and signer
Very
of the
cool.
Declaration of Independence. I guess I'm like, I knew I was white bread of white bread. I was hoping I had some. I had to do some DNA testing, maybe, but
I was going to
uh,
ask you if you've done that.
I haven't yet. My sister's done it. I mean, that's how she found me through my daughter's DNA test, and or maybe her son did. I don't know, but she contacted me, and that was mind blowing. I'm your sister.
Yeah.
Okay, I never knew I had.
It might
I told my mother, and she's like, "Your sister? What? What?"
after 40 years, my wife just found out she had a brother. She's the same way. She's adopted as well.
Yeah. Well, she
And
had
she had it.
August too.
Yeah. It
Yeah. Well,
very cool.
if you're a believer, we're all adopted.
Right.
That goes
Right.
deep. Over Christmas, he was talking about that. Jesus and Joseph, his father, adopted father, and just all that on adoption. That's
Hmm.
vast, and I mean, you could go deep with that. He grafted into the
Right.
family of God. You could go deep with that if you want.
Yeah.
It's pretty neat. But
My brother John, he adopted 4 kids.
Oh
So
wow.
yeah.
Yeah, my brother
well,
and I were adopted as well.
I
Yeah.
really got the best of the deal. There was three of us. I was in the middle, apparently. My older sister's still alive. She's 61.
Mhm.
I've just turned 58 in November, and then my youngest sister, that was a couple of years younger than me, has already passed away. But and she was the only one of us raised by my birth mother. My elder sister was raised by her grandparents, which was probably better for her. You
Right.
know?
Right.
Some young people, when they're young, they're not really
I
suited to have children of their own and become parents. Just saying, they're not equipped for it. I really wasn't.
Hey, I have an adoption story for you. So, boy, I actually have two, and so
Are you talking about this?
does he have a book
Do
out?
you have a book out?
No, I'm currently working on it. It'll be out. The campaign will be 2025.
I meet my
LZ.
very good friend of many, almost 40 years. Almost 40 years. Elsie.
Going.
How's it
Hey,
going,
Elsie.
LZ?
He's over in Jackson,
going?
Tennessee.
Yeah, Rex. What you say about it, man? You
What
about
do I
ready
say
to
about
launch,
it?
buddy?
Huh?
You about ready to launch?
I believe in like 23 days, we're ready to launch. Yeah, you know the thing. We don't have to play it again.
It's getting ready to rock out.
That's not what I meant to do. All right.
LZ, I am prepared today for you.
Me? Oh, wow. Cool.
Yeah, you met Elsie the other day, didn't you, Levi?
Yeah. But I went downstairs and I found a box of comic books.
Oh, good.
Oh,
Awesome.
cool.
We are getting a little bit of echo from you, Elsie, just to let you know. I don't know what you do about it. You don't hear it, but I really think earbuds are going to help you with that. I don't know.
What'd you do? Just pick up some
99
earbuds?
cent at Walmart. They're not good quality ones, but they'll work.
But your earphones, are they Wi-Fi, Levi?
Bluetooth? Yes.
Up to your system. Okay.
Yeah.
Shadowhawk's got 102 fever, Elsie.
Oh my goodness.
He needs to be
Buddy.
taking something.
Yeah, it might have come down by now. So I've been taking some
It's
therapy.
called bourbon.
Well, that's
Well, I tell you what,
regardless.
we're going to do something unprecedented right here. We got 3 men of faith. I think 4 men of faith. You know, yeah. Well, I meant I was excluding Shadowhawk, Levi. I was talking about you.
Okay.
And we're going to just stop and we're going to extend our hands and we're just going to pray for Shadowhawk real quick. Father, we just love you and we thank you, Lord, that you have us in the palm of your hand. We just ask for your creative power and your healing to infuse and just surround Shadowhawk, Lord. You know the desires of his heart are to serve you and in all things, and we just ask that you do your miraculous work that only you can do. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Short and sweet.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
And keep Shadowhawk in your prayers. Keep us all in your prayers. I'll
Yeah.
take prayers anytime.
Oh, yeah.
I've had answered prayer a couple times this week unexpectedly. So, you have those books handy, Levi? Just wondering.
I sure do. Yeah,
Right.
I got them right down here on the floor.
Smile. Sure
Yeah.
do.
Hey, what's that, Elsie?
I came prepared too. I've been working on a couple of paintings and I brought them.
All right, very cool.
Yeah. Carrie was wanting to see some of my paintings. So I'm gonna have to get some down and show some off at some point.
These are a continuation of working with my dad's sermon notes and putting them on canvas and painting over them. You know how I got the idea, man? Really, I thought it was a revelation, but actually I looked through my book of all my notes, and that's what I did with my notes. I just painted right on top and where I could still read it, you know. But these, you know, you couldn't read them if I didn't put anything on them, probably.
Yeah.
But here's
So
one I've been
that tells me that was probably a later sermon, right? Because of his Parkinson, it was hard to read.
well, that too, and you have to understand he wrote these for himself. He didn't write them for nobody else. And if he could read it,
read his own writing.
he was, you know, using his own shorthand and his own way of writing.
Right.
And you know, you can kind of tell what he's written, but
Not by that. No, we can't.
But I'm just saying, but I'm saying if you saw the painting, but you know.
All right. Here's what Elsie doesn't get, and what Texas State does. And you can kind of see the patent number there on that Pez. No, you can't. I don't care if you've got an electron microscope. Holding it closer does not help.
I saw something. You speak quick.
Yeah, you're not gonna be able to read that thing. You get my point. I'm gonna kick myself.
Well, he kicked himself, man.
Not for long. Can't get rid of me for long.
That's right.
All right, Levi, you're up.
Well, I'm up.
Appreciate you, brother. You know,
Could have had him.
I
So,
books, man.
get it out of the bag here.
Down here. I'm gonna show it out in the raw. Okay, Alien Worlds. What number is that?
Number 6.
Signed.
Oh yeah. Good.
Who
Very
signed it?
cool.
Mike Mignolia.
Yeah.
He did the inks on which story?
You caught him at a convention to get him to sign it?
Mike was. I'm a Pacific Northwest. He's out of Portland.
Okay. I take it you went to a convention then?
Yeah. I did 12 years Emerald City Comic Con, Artist Alley.
Right.
2 of those years, the way they arranged it, Mike's table was his massive line was right in front of my table against the wall.
I was going to say you must have had massive line to go through.
Oh, it was huge. It was the Hellboy years for the movies.
Yeah.
So yeah, I cleaned up. I got all the Hellboys signed. So
you were next to him and you just kind of conversed when how?
He was probably, oh gosh, no. You got, not only you got a badge.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you get in early, he shows up early, there's no line.
Okay. All right.
You know, that's how you get a lot of stuff. Like get on Art Adams' list before the show even opens up.
Do you know ahead of time sort of the table arrangement who you'll be next to so that you can kind of bring the appropriate books to get signed?
Yeah. Sure
That's
can.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's cool. You know, I tell Elsie all the time, I think we're saving money. Not just, I mean, we're saving the time of having to, by buying signed books. We didn't have to wait in line for an hour or so to get something signed. It really is a time saver just to buy it instead of having to. It's always a thrill to meet somebody, and get it signed in person. But if there's a long line, I think I'm kind of beyond all that.
Yeah, they were huge. Yeah.
Yeah, especially
hundreds of people in the line.
Yeah.
So
I've got a Ramita, but it's dynamic forces. There's only like 150 signed.
Is that senior or junior?
Senior.
Okay. Oh.
Sorry, I had to cough.
That's okay. Just wipe your hands off on one of them grubby comics. That's why we have them in bags. I'm pushing for an Ice Pirates reboot. #Perlin.
X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now that's a significant book right there, right?
Yeah, it's signed again, Magnolia.
Yeah.
Right.
But isn't there something special about that issue?
First Hellboy. Or
first Hellboy,
technically not the first Hellboy. I got that too.
Right. Technically not. Right.
Whatever.
I have the San Diego Comic Con that year was his actual first debut. San Diego Comic Con issue something. I can't remember. I got that issue too. I got that signed by him.
Yeah, there's Comic Tom. Have you ever watched Comic Tom on? He's a big Hellboy. I mean, a big Hellboy. That's his favorite character, I think.
He's mentioned in his videos that his local Comic Con is Emerald City.
Mm-hmm.
So I just assume that he's in the Seattle area
He's
somewhere.
pretty close there. Yeah, his father's used to have a comic book store, so he's been around comic books all his life. Must be nice.
Hey.
How about
I was kind of the oddball that discovered comics and enjoyed them. Nobody else did.
Well, thanks for sharing that.
Oh, there you go. That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
yeah, newsstand edition signed.
Wow.
Yeah, but what year is that? Does it
Uh,
say up there in the box in the copyright?
February. No.
It doesn't.
It's not a reprint.
Sometimes
yeah.
the Marvel do. Yeah. Well, I didn't
Mhm.
think it was a reprint. I was just wondering.
Yeah.
You know,
Here's-
it's 1987 when that starts mattering. You know, you want the direct comics from 1977 to the early 80s because those are
Mhm.
the rare ones. You know, on the print run, and then you want starting in 1987, you want the newsstands, 87 on.
Okay.
By the time it gets to early 90s, you're talking 1% of the run. By the time you get it around 2000 or 99, somewhere in there, it's like less than 1% of the run. Anything past 2000, extremely rare to get in a newsstand.
Mm-hmm.
It was only in 87, it slips to 38%
Wow.
of the run of the print
They
run.
just, I can't believe that it just collapsed like that.
Within 5 years, it just
Yeah.
collapsed. Yeah, it was very quickly. You know, it took over by the late 90s. You're talking less than 1% of the run, or I mean less than 10% of the run. So
not every
anything
store
past anything from 87 and the later it is from 87, you know, up into the 90s or 2000s, you're talking, you know, say 96 would be rarer than say 90. You know, because newsstands were just dropping like flies. I know they disappeared around here almost immediately.
Hmm.
It was very rare to see anything. The last comic that I actually bought in a store was at the Dollar Tree.
Hmm.
And that was with the toy line, and they were hard to get in good condition because of just the way they displayed them in some stores.
Right.
I got about 40 of them, or so.
Nice.
I grabbed every one I could. I think there was 3 or 4 I left in the store. That was about it. I said, nah, I've got enough of them now.
How about
There we go. That's number 50, isn't it?
that's number 1.
Oh, that's number 1. Okay, but they had a 50 or 100th issue that had a
And it's
fake on it. So you got that signed by Todd McFarlane?
Yeah.
Very cool.
Todd went to college here in town.
Cool.
Yeah.
And his wife is a teacher.
So we got this opportunity. This was really cool.
Yeah.
Have you looked that up? Is that a low print run?
Oh, there's only 400.
Shoot, man. I'd love to have one.
That's
of those.
it. He came. I got 2 of them.
I'd love to have
2 of them.
man.
So
Levi, my new best friend.
he came. So you remember? Did you ever hear that Eastern brought him back in for a college graduation?
They did.
He gave the commencement speech. So Todd McFarlane, kind of off the cuff, he didn't write his speech for the commencement for the graduation ceremony, but he wanted an opportunity to practice off the cuff beforehand. So Eastern set up a hotel banquet room, sold tickets, and you could get 2 autographs and listen to Todd give his pre-speech, his practices speech. And you could also have they held a dinner with him beforehand too. I didn't go to that, but we me and my friend Mike Lale, my son, and we went and sat and we watched him do a speech for that. And then the next day he just did it, off the cuff again at the ceremony. So, but yeah, he sat around and he just he autographed clear through the line, and then we were still all there, and you were just kind of like, why didn't I bring more stuff? So, but yeah, he autographed for as long as everybody had stuff. It was pretty cool.
Wow. Yeah. It's a quandary with me, Levi, how much stuff to bring without being overbearing about it. I mean, I would love to just bring a short box, but that seems that seems presumptuous, when you bring
Roy Thomas. He handled it the best that I've seen. The guy just did that. He brought his entire Avengers run, and just like you gotta autograph every single issue that you wrote. And he's like, I'll tell you what, here's what I'm gonna do. I will gladly do that for you, but I'm only gonna do 5 and then take care of this customer, and then I'll come back and do 5 and then take care of this customer. You can stand right here, but I'm going to be back and forth. And then he was completely respectful of the fact that, hey, I got a brand new person here. I'm going to interact with them, and then I'm going to go back to him for a minute, and then I'll interact.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. He was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else you got there, Levi? Come on now.
I got tons of stuff. I got 5 short boxes.
I want to see volume.
All right. All right. So real quickly then, how about Savage Dragon #1 signed Eric Larson?
Cool. That's the second #1.
There's another one signed Eric Larson.
Bedrock had to change his name to Bad Rock, right?
All these are signed.
Very cool. You'll have to tell us who signed these.
This would be Corey Walker, the original artist for Invincible.
Okay. Yeah, that one took off, didn't it?
Oh yeah, it did. Rob Liefeld. I probably have the best Rob Liefeld story in all of comics. When I met Rob and talked to him, but I'm not going to tell that story until later.
Okay. All right. So second printing there in the gold, and the first printing right there, which is not. Look, man. What issue's that? I love that Renegade. Normal.
It's number 9.
That's cool.
Jim Valentino.
Now go back to that first cable there, brother.
The first.
What issue number is that?
You talking about 87?
87.
You talking about this one, or the reprint, or the original?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I know that's second printing because they did it in gold for a second printing. But okay, so 87. I've got to believe you got an 86 in your collection too, right?
Is that the Wolverine cover?
No. Stick with me.
I'm sorry, man. Go ahead.
New Mutants. The book you had in your hand. The issue before that issue.
Okay. What's on the cover?
It doesn't matter. It's kind of like a Spider-Man Vulture tribute cover.
I got it.
If you know. Yeah. Well, I mean, if you look in there, there's multiple pages, multiple panels, multiple times Cable speaking, multiple times Strife with his first appearance, really speaking a lot. And yet they don't call that his first appearance. Why? Because I think he's not on the cover. Again, it's kind of the Wolverine thing. Because if you look in that, there's no way you can say that's Cable's cameo in that issue. There's no way. That is so disingenuous to call those issues that you have right there that had at least 2 printings his first appearance. It's his first cover appearance. But when you got a character on multiple pages and multiple panels speaking multiple things, that's his first appearance, isn't it?
Mhm.
Regardless if he's on the cover or not.
Yeah. If they count something for like the final panel, sometimes they count that as a first appearance, and it's just the
Well, they
final
did in
panel of the book.
Wolverines, although I think they should in Wolverine. He's speaking in a couple word balloons, more than just one. He identifies himself as Weapon X and Wolverine. I mean, it's one panel. I can
Right.
see where you could say that's a cameo, but I think a lot of these things that people call first appearances are the issue that the fandom wants it to be, which is his, a good first full appearance with the character on the cover.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at Cable and Strife in that issue before that, they're all over it in the last 4 or 5 pages. How can you just say that's a cameo? That is so disingenuous.
Mm-hmm.
But they want a good Cable cover to go with what they consider his first appearance. So I don't consider that really his first appearance, but you got to go with where the money is.
Ed McGuinness and Gilmore, the writer.
And the thing about it is, Levi, you can get that issue I was talking about for about $5. Those 2 books you had right there, even the second printing, you cannot get anywhere near $5.
Mm-mm.
And it's not really even his first appearance. I have that one, Wolverine 96. Yeah.
Yeah. Ed McGuinness's first work for Marvel.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yep. But
big thick annual. There's die cut cover right there.
Signed by Begley.
Mm-hmm. Begley's not, his style has never changed, has it?
No, it's a great style. I love it.
Yeah.
Both these.
Got Excalibur #1.
Got Chris Claremont. Let's see here.
Shadowhawk, you need me to drop the link again?
Origins. Sam Jenkins.
Mm-hmm. I think that whole thing was a mistake, Levi. I don't think they should have gave Wolverine's origin.
For the longest time, wasn't this the final issue of G.I. Joe?
Well, why do you say for the longest time?
Now they're up to like issue 300.
Why do you
Well, it was
say
the final
for the
Marvel issue, wasn't it? Wasn't that?
Was there another one come out after that?
Irregardless, I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Mm-hmm. So you got like your key book here.
Oh, I got.
Your signed keys.
Oh, here we go.
Okay, Shadowhawk. All right, you'll have to tell Ethan Van Sciver that. Okay, I know because
The infamous sex. Is this the sex issue?
Yeah, that's
it.
Yeah. 116, is it?
This one's 118. I know I have this. I have all of his X-Men stuff.
That's where he said he put sex in every panel.
It's
Once
all over.
I heard that on one of his streams, I had, I bought 4 or 5, 3 or 4 or 5 copies of it. Yeah, I've got some of that Common Grounds. I don't have a number 2, but I do have. That had some pretty good art in it. Yeah,
it did. Wow. It did, and this was part of the inspiration for the Park story, where the story is about It's about the donut shop. It's just stories that take place inside or around the donut shop.
Okay, all right. So Ethan did that cover. Is that right? Or did he do Insides?
I think he did the Crazy Waitress story.
Oh, okay. So there was more than one story in these.
Yeah, it was like a Marvel Comics Presents.
Yeah. Look at the back ad on that, Wanted on the back.
He did Yeah, Wanted. Yeah.
Mhm.
Let's see. Ethan did. We
It
did the
didn't
first
look like
story.
his cover
Roles.
artwork.
Troy Hickman, Ethan Van Sciver, and John Holderidge.
Okay.
The cover's done by Randolph Miglari.
And what year is
Miglari?
that, Levi?
This is
Top Cow Image.
Yep. Where's it at? 2003.
Elsie, I'm going to mute you till you have something to say, and then you'll have to unmute yourself.
Good stuff, though. So in this story, she's the waitress at the donut shop, and he goes to like rob the place or something like that. And as it turns out, it's like, how stupid do you think it would be to not have superpowers and work here? Right.
Yeah.
Right. You know, I'm not
Can you
just
tell
the waitress.
me what that whole series was about? I do have a
Common
bunch
Grounds?
of those, but I've never read it.
It was about the donut shop.
Okay.
It was just stories that took place around and for the donut shop. You know,
Okay.
it was
All right. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Was it called Common Grounds?
Common Grounds was the image.
Because you could get coffee there, right?
Yes, coffee and
Yeah.
donuts. And then the
There was
indie
a Christian bookstore and I guess it's still there. It was called Higher Grounds.
mm,
There was a Christian bookstore and coffee place put together.
when this came out originally before Image, Images I was going to say a bunch of reprints, but I'm not sure on that. But the original indie title was called Holy Crawlers. So, but it was they had stories in there like the superhero has to go use the bathroom.
Levi,
So
that story got so many holes in it. I don't even.
No, it's true. It's true. The
on that hole, get it anyway.
So the superhero has to go to the bathroom. So he goes into the stall and he sits down and he's out of toilet paper. So of course you're going to go, hey buddy, next to you,
yeah, you're out of here. We can't.
So the guy in the next stall is like, yeah, here you go. Here's some toilet paper. Well, as it turns out, the guy using the next stall is his arch enemy, right? Or not his arch enemy. It's one of the guys he has fought, and it's a superhero and a bad guy. Mm-hmm. So and the bad guy is talking about how he considers him his arch his arch hero that he faces. And the hero's like, I never really considered you my arch villain, like you weren't top number one. And it kind of like hurt the guy's feelings, right? So it was just two guys sitting on a pot talking to each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Yeah. Interesting. Mighty Geek said that DDP Publishing picked up G.I. Joe after Marvel. I might even have some of those DDPs. They're not a company I often think of, but I do have, a few examples of their titles and stuff.
All right. How about
now, don't put those where they're going to slide and fall on the floor, Levi.
They're going to fall?
Well, no, we don't want them to fall.
How about all right.
Yeah.
First Jim Lee, Chris Claremont. Chris Claremont.
Oh,
Claremont.
I love that. There's just one shot. Great. I mean, wraparound cover, John Byrne, Terry Austin. I mean, that kind of came out after I don't know if they were still doing X-Men or not. Do you? Were they still when that came out?
I don't think they were.
I don't think they were. So it was good to see them back together again for that issue.
Right.
And then that has a different ending than the official X-Men story, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Sort
I was
of
gonna say, I think
alternative ending where she lived.
83.
I think.
Yeah, because it was basically just the same story, just with a couple of different pages at the end.
Yeah, which they had kind of drawn it both ways, didn't they? At the time, didn't they?
Yeah. I've seen those where what the heck was happening, but it was exactly like that. Byrne still had over on his forum, he was showing something sometime where he was showing the original pictures to it. I think that's where I've seen it.
Yeah.
Anyway, But double signature, Chris Claremont and I'm blanking.
Leonardo or whatever his name is.
Leonardi. Yes.
Leonardi, yeah.
So this one was totally awesome because I loved being an X-Men fan and him being the fill-in artist. I loved his stuff.
Well, Shadowhawk's a big X-Men fan too, as you know.
Mm-hmm. He sat
was
behind
his jam.
me.
My jam was the Avengers, maybe because I didn't see the X-Men for like a couple years on the stands, and I finally found a stand. I'd been collecting almost 2 years before I even saw my first X-Men book.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it's what you're exposed to, but I just loved George Perez's Avengers. That was a golden time for Avengers. A lot of the stories.
Right.
Dude, right behind you, man.
About a
Neil Adams, signed by Roy Thomas. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's sweet condition.
It's pretty good. It does have a little, where they stamped it at the store.
Well, you know what? If you had that graded, they won't take off for that.
Really?
Because that's part of, they really don't discount for that, I don't think. Actually, I kind of like those now. I hated them as a kid, but now that I understand that was part of the thing, what's going on. It's kind of neat to have a few of those in your collection. Aaron Lopresti, huh?
Yep.
I didn't realize he worked on that, although I had that issue, I think.
Not sure how far into the series that he went.
Mm-hmm. You have any of his Gen 13 stuff? I know he worked on Mystic.
Mm-mm. I was more of a Marvel guy.
LZ, were you going to say something about about his back setting or something?
No, I actually just nothing very odd.
It almost looks like the way you got it set up, at least the way I'm looking at it, Levi. It almost looks like a green screen, although I know it isn't.
I'm in the dining room.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the kitchen. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So right in front of me is the living room and the big screen TV. And my dad's sitting over there in the recliner and the couch in front of the window. And so that way they can yell at me while I draw.
Yeah.
Crack the whip.
Up?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say, only thing I was gonna say was that I read where like the comics buyer's guide was, you can send in your if you're funding my comic,
Mm-hmm.
you can send in crowdfunding comics and they'll put them in there, in their price guide,
Their database.
Said they went through a process and showed you how,
Mighty Geek, you're invited to come in if you want. There's the link. All right, Levi, let's see that horde. Let's see that dragon's horde you've been sitting
Dragon's
on.
Horde. How about Kevin McGuire?
Now that's okay. Now that's embossed, isn't it?
Yep.
The first one.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Did you ever get any of his Trinity Angels?
No.
You should. He's got one issue where the villain is called the Prick. And he's got like spikes all over him like a porcupine.
Right.
He's a lot of fun,
Yep.
His stuff makes me smile.
I love comedy and comics. Justice League was a good one for that.
Oh yeah.
Boosted mode.
Yeah, it was Justice League till issue 7, and then it turned to Justice League International.
Mm-hmm.
I actually have some production artwork.
One punch. It only took one punch.
The reason I know that, I had production artwork to issue 7. I might still have it.
Oh, that would be very cool.
Yeah. I'd have to check. I think I might still have one page from that issue. Let's see what Tome of Reckoning is saying to me.
Ooh, here we go.
Oh yeah, I have that issue, but wow, that's a good one to have signed. And
I asked him. So the guy who sold me the issue, that's a whole different story. But when I told him why I was, like, hey, I gotta go. He's like, well, hey, I heard I have this issue, and I heard he doesn't sign it anymore because of whatever reasons, right? And he says,
Right.
why don't you
Well,
try and have him sign it?
it's unauthorized.
Yeah. So when I went up there, I'm like, all right, I bought the issue for a couple bucks, and I'm like, hey, Mr. Lee, if you personalize this to me, will you please sign it? And he said, oh yeah, sure, no problem. Not even.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. You got your telephone? I mean, your TV on?
You know what? Be right back, guys. Sorry about that, gentlemen.
I'll just meet and kick your butt. There we go.
But
that's interesting.
One,
so he just generally wouldn't sign it, but since you said, would you personalize it to me, he didn't have a problem with
it. I didn't give him a chance to say no to it because I offered that up first. I just said that, and he didn't.
Oh, okay.
No complaint whatsoever. He just said, "Oh, sure, kid," in his Stanley voice, and I was like, "That's freaking awesome," So
yeah. Now, how did you? Thank you, Edwin Buzz Acevedo, for liking this over there on Twitter. How'd you get past the line? Wasn't there a line?
I'm over. This is it's down in San Diego, and up there on the where he was signing at, they're doing portfolio reviews. So I'm over there, and my wife's in line with a 3-year-old in a stroller and an 8-year-old son. And she stood in line for 2 hours before San Diego came up and told the entire line, hey, there's been a goof. Stan's not signing today. And my wife just got mad. She just walks away. She comes over to the portfolio area where I was at. And she's just explaining the story to me. And this guy comes walking up to her. And as it turns out, he was standing next to her in line. And when she turned around and walked away, they started handing out raffle tickets for your place in line. And she didn't get one. He was cool enough that he went and grabbed, he's like, nope, she needs 2. And he found her out there on the pavilion, found my wife, and handed us the tickets to get us right back in line again. So I had, somebody able to wait in line for me while I went out and did their other things. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, if you hadn't hit that like button, now Dee's here, so you can hit that like button. Creator of Tome of Reckoning. We're just looking at some of his Dragon Horde here that
Dragon
he's been
Horde
sitting on.
How about Frey? Issue 1, signed by everybody.
That's super cool.
That's always
so it's
cool.
got Joss on it. It's got Malene on it. It's got Andy on it. It's got oh boy, it's everybody. Yeah, this was only you had to either do this yourself or be a part of the creative crew to get one.
Yeah.
So
I say slab it, buy you another copy to read.
No.
or
no.
the trade paperback.
Yeah.
First Todd McFarlane Spider-Man.
And back then he was still signing on the inside of it. So this would have been
okay.
87, 88, something like that.
Yeah, in the early days, often they would open it up and sign it down there by the indicia, right? And usually using a ballpoint pen and etching it into the paper.
Oh, it was his first trip back to town again. So, and he was probably only on like issue, oh God, I don't know. It was early 300s, like I said, Todd graduated, college here in town. So he's been back to town like quite a few times.
That's great.
So able to get like all the keys, all the keys signed, Yeah.
Yeah. That was the direct one. Now they had another one that was.
There was.
They had a silver edition, right? And they had a regular edition of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I remember when they came out. And that one Punisher LZ that you had, that I said had such a great coloring job on that came out around the same time. That was, I just remember that was on the stands. That was a pretty big deal early on to have those Spider-Man come out with a couple different versions. One of them bagged, I think.
So this was
that was prior to the death of Superman, I think. And you remember Howard Chaykin's Polybag series that he did? Oh, was that Dynamic Forces? It was something Kiss, Black Kiss. Does that ring a bell with anybody?
Not ringing a bell.
No, okay. I bought a few of those. Just thought I never read them. Never opened them up out of the polybags.
There you go. We were talking about this one earlier. 86.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you look at that, that is a Amazing Spider-Man. Hey, Glenn.
Yeah.
But that's really Cable's first appearance. That is really, I don't see how you get away. That once I learned that really pissed me off, Levi, I gotta say. You know, that people call that they don't call that his first appearance. I don't see
Here's
how
more
you get
of these.
away. The only reason they don't call that the first appearance that I can ascertain is that he's not on the cover. And they want the character to be on the cover. But he and Stripe make their first appearance in that prior issue. And it is that. So that tells me, I don't know if it'll ever be worth that much, but it should be. It should be worth a lot.
There's another one of those. Newsstand again.
I like that.
Again, depends on the year. And I can't remember some of these that were in the 80s exactly. They had a second printing of that number 100 as well, Levi.
Yeah. They had I don't have it. I just have the direct and the
right. I can't even remember. I think it's red. I'm not sure. I forget. I think I've got one of each.
Hey, would you like to see some production art, Levi?
Sure.
Yes.
I've got a couple of nice pieces I know you hadn't seen. This is a Superman Sunday it was colored by Jack Adler. Now it has rice paper over this, so that's why it's not real vibrant.
Right.
Yeah. And
otherwise it's very vibrant.
With a certificate.
Right.
Oh yes, it's hand painted. It's watercolor painted.
And
he did.
These were some of the later things in the Adler collection, weren't they?
Yeah.
Like early 80s, maybe?
He was doing newspaper comic art. But the
I
cool thing about
it, right?
I have the original art to this. But it is huge.
Okay. I'm confused, but sure.
Okay, you're
you have the original art to that.
This will probably unconfuse you.
Was that the same page?
Well, let's see. I might have got them mixed up, but I've got. If that's not it, I have another one, and that's the right page. They're both.
Is that 17 by 11? You think, or is it bigger?
It's bigger than that, brother.
You know who did the artwork?
Let's see. Paul Kupperberg and Delbo Smith, 1982, for the Tribune Company. This one's pretty cool. It has like a very strange character there. It's like his first appearance or something. I don't know. Can you tell me who that guy is?
No.
Not that character.
Are those brush pullouts or is that a wash on there?
This is ink. It's all ink, brother. And there's a little. There's not even any white out on this. Even this logo up here is hand done.
Wow.
Well, it looks hand done, but it's actually pasted on there. But everything else is hand done. It might have been hand done and pasted on there. I don't know. There's a few blue writing down here, little blue writing. But I know I know this guy had some small panels of Superman art, you know, in the dailies. They weren't Sunday, they were just a regular daily. And these guys did some, and they were selling for over $100 just for a small one. So I imagine these two are nice. I've had them for a long time. I think I want to have them framed together. And here's the COA to that.
They're beautiful.
I've got another one just like this one, except it's not the same art, you know. One of the corners of the rice paper torn, so you can see how vibrant the colors are. You can tell. You can look and tell.
Oh wow! Yeah.
See the difference. And then, you know, I think that other art, and here's the art for that last one.
Sorry, I missed all that. I had to go get mine, Elsie. It was just right in the other room.
Yeah.
That's cool that they
this
put
was also
panel there.
this was also the same. This was done by Delbo Coletta and Paul Kupperberg.
Right?
Wow.
1982.
Well, here's mine. I just mounted the way it was, and when he said vibrant, really vibrant colors.
Oh yeah.
Beautiful. They're over 40 years old. And there's only one of those.
Right.
There's no more than one of those ever done.
Now, while I was look at this, Elsie. This stuff was just sitting in there with here's sort of mock-up of my character Bog he did one time. Remember doing that?
Yeah, I don't remember doing that. Sorry.
I happen to have Heroic Comics number 61 in there. Famous Funnies,
Cool.
which was the first, I think, paid dime, and this is a production artwork to this cover, which has a sheet to it, but it has all the artwork on the inside, printed on the inside. But
Cool.
big wraparound approval. I mean, this thing's big.
Well,
I guess it was a magazine, right?
It's never been folded.
I see you there, Doc.
Hello.
Hello. And then I have
What's going, Doc?
What's up? What's up?
And the Beast.
What's going on,
The
Doc?
Beast.
Very cool.
That's awesome.
And Jim Steranko's just wrapped in a wrapping there, but an original one of his books on comics that he came out with.
One of those signed, something like that.
Oh, it'd be great to get the sign. Yeah. And now I just need the other one. This thing's so big, I kept it in this because I wanted to protect it, keep the dust off of it. These odd sizes, man.
Yeah. Let's take care of them.
What's up, Levi? I didn't see
How's
you.
it going, Doc?
How are you?
Doing well. How about yourself?
Good. Dionysius.
Cool.
How's it going?
What's up?
Hanging out, enjoying Friday night with you boys.
Yeah, man. Elsie, good to see you, sir.
Well, I
Doc?
noticed, D, where you had said, "Hey, man, if anybody would like to have me on their channel, I would sure like to come on and talk about Tome Reckoning." Well, I know Doc's got a channel. He might have you on. There's Apex. You need to get
Sure.
on with Apex. After dark. If we do one of those on Saturday, I don't
For
know.
sure.
We could do a special time.
Well, Rex, you never introduced the man. I don't know what to call him. I could call him D.
I'll
I
let
could
him
call him
introduce himself.
Sure. My name is Dionysius. You can call me D. You can call me Dennis. I am the writer artist of the Tome Reckoning, and just a comic dude like you guys.
Well,
Stoked to
last
talk.
time I saw you, you were like 75%. Is that right?
I was, yes, 75%, and now we're funded. So
Funded.
first
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I
Where's
appreciate
your
it.
where's your campaign at?
It is on Indiegogo. I have one on Kickstarter, but to be honest with you, it's not doing anything. So I'm just focusing all my effort now on Indiegogo. So
now, will you be able to change? Are you going to leave the original artwork up on Kickstarter for right now?
Oh, for right now, but I'm actually thinking about switching that because I'm going to let it go the full time, and then most likely switch it over to Indiegogo later on when the Kickstarter one closes off. So,
well, congratulations on your
thank you so much
so far.
I appreciate that, man. It feels good, and it couldn't happen without Rex's help having me on the show and backers and everybody pushing for me. So it's a community thing.
That's what this is about, isn't it? That's
Yeah.
what I've heard.
I'm sorry.
It's all that we're doing, and all this that I've seen is about comics, about doing my comic, about doing great work, and not worrying about political bull. And you just
nailed it. You know what? Nose to the grindstone.
Yeah.
The reason we're in it is for the fun stuff, and that's what it's about. All the other stuff is just superfluous. I can't even speak right now, but it's super stuff. Thank you, superfluous BS that nobody really wants to deal with right now, and especially we're going to be inundated with it.
I'm not the only one.
I gotta disagree with you. I was told there was hot chicks. We do it for the hot chicks.
Yeah, well, I'm lucky that I got my hot chick that does the coloring for me and is my wife. So you are absolutely right. I'm doing it for her.
That's right, man.
Great looking stuff. Let's take a look at this trailer real quick.
On Rex's chuffy ass theater.
Absolutely. Let's chop this thing up into ground beef.
Thank you.
Almost funded.
Yeah. Told me the other day, Rex. It's really cool. Yeah.
Oh, you did get funded. Okay, I misunderstood. Great.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. Good.
Showed me this. See, I've only been on here 10 days at the most, so I don't understand a lot of this stuff. But that's cool. That's cool, man. Glad you got fun.
Here's the cover to #1, which you can get on here, and there's the cover to #2, the current cover.
Love it.
Yeah, I think if you let that ride out over on Kickstarter, or whatever, transfer that original artwork over to Indiegogo, and I bet you it will get sale for you.
I think
here's
that's
6 different prints you can get right here. With the tatas uncovered, of course. We believe in tatas. But it's more than a werewolf story.
Yes, way more than a werewolf story.
All right, 30-second pitch. Let's go.
It's about a young lady who has a stranger that appears on her doorstep that changes her life forever, and she is embroiled with this group in a two-front war against shadowy government forces and an ancient evil from beyond, as the end of the world is falling and crumbling around them. So,
So A day that ends with Y.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
That sounds great, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's a fun ride. It definitely opens up with each issue, character wise, world wise, and story wise. And it's my baby, and I just love it. So hopefully everybody else will love it as much as I do. So
I have a
Fantastic.
major announcement on my front. I'm thinking about quitting comics before I have to
no,
pull my hair out,
oh,
like these guys.
yes, yes.
Listen. I want to officially welcome you to the Big, the Bad, the Bald, and the Beautiful.
It's a good club.
It is. It is.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Say this about I and Elsie on our age, and maybe even Levi, although he doesn't look like he's old enough to.
Levi's a young fella. Leave him out of this.
He's a young guy. You're right. Yeah. Oop, you're muted, I think, Levi.
No, I'm not. I'm 50.
Oh, you're miming.
He's a young fella.
Yeah, I'm 50.
I'm right behind you, buddy.
Shadowhawk says, I couldn't remember if I backed it yet, so I just backed it again.
Thanks, White.
D, do you know I made this person a moderator? Do you know this person?
I do, yes. We met a little while ago on Twitter, and we're sharing recipes. Cool dude, man. Yeah, and a heck of a backer as well. So, but beyond that, just a cool dude. We were sharing recipes. I'm jealous of his sausage making skills. So yeah, definitely a good guy, man. Definitely a good guy.
All right, Carrie, I'm going to need you to just go to your room and think about what you said. We'll talk later.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
He says, let's go. Unlocking more stretch goals. Yeah.
Yeah, we're close to the next one, which will be a secret print that everybody will get as well. So stoked to show that one.
Is that so? That's a print in addition to the 6 that you've already done.
Yes, exactly. So the 6 that are there aren't included in the secret one. So the secret one will be a totally different one that I'll be showing as soon as we unlock it. So we've unlocked the first print with the initial funding at 500, which was the character of mine, Hellbound, drawn by the cover artist Ed Herrera, and that's within the. I think I show it in the campaign, but it's got the little tendrils coming out and his sword and all that fun stuff.
I forgot my beverage. I'll be right back.
Yeah, always have a beverage when you come on here. I can't talk, so I don't have anything to drink.
How's everybody's Friday night?
Good.
Yeah, nice.
Better
Awesome.
than Friday morning, man.
Always.
I don't know. God bless me right out of bed, but then from there on, it went to hell.
Oh man.
And I just had to remind myself that God blessed me right from the get-go. So that kind of helped me get through it. But I've still got stuff to go through with my phone.
Hopefully you have another beer in the house.
Another beer?
Yeah, because I know last time you had only one beer left in the house. So hopefully
for your lawn. But no, I haven't. Sadly, I didn't go in and get it.
Oh.
Okay, Elsie. This phone thing, I put off for long. They've been telling me to upgrade. Your service may be interrupted. I let my monthly thing lapse. Okay, so all right, I'm going to get another one, and I, my mindset. Okay, I'm just going to enter in the code, and I'll be good for another 30 days. Nah, that didn't happen this time. Oh man, I had to go back to the store, get a new SIM card, put it in there. They contacted them more than once trying to get this thing going. And they're like, could you put your old SIM card back in there so we could send you a card? Yeah, it's about an hour to broadcast till broadcast. So I said, forget it. I'll do it after the broadcast.
Oh, man. It's always something.
Yeah, it's no more than I use that phone. It's a necessary evil.
Right.
I don't know.
Scooby.
Dooby Doo. We did Zippity Doo Dah yesterday.
So Rex.
Yeah.
I've been working on stuff for you today.
Oh, cool.
I'll show it to you. I'll show it to you when we clear.
No, you can show it to me now.
Well, it's not finished yet, but you're certainly welcome to see what we're
Nice.
working on there.
That feels like me every time I have to pay Doc for his artwork.
No kidding. Wow.
That's awesome.
Hurts in the paycheck book.
Heck,
Carrie says, God blessed me by making sure I'm in a different country for when Doc sees my last comment. Laugh out loud. Come on,
I will
Doc.
drop-
Show some more. Show some more.
I will drop multiple elbows amongst thy head.
We have people that see that have not seen your current stuff that you've done.
Well, that's the only one of yours I've got in here, Rex.
Oh, you're boy.
You could show my trailer, and that'll show people some of my work.
Yeah,
Yes.
sure. Of course, it's your old trailer.
It is. It is.
Yes.
That's it.
Ain't I a stinker? Come on, pull my finger. Come on, Levi. Made you smile. This will be launching soon. We have to get this into your grubby little hand. Now, Doc, that
awesome.
said summer 2023. What the hell?
Well, I mean, it was ready to go then, but we just decided to wait for tax refund season to launch it.
Yeah.
On the sign up page, we revamped it last night. There's an Easter egg there that doesn't cost you anything, that you can go, and if you're observant, you'll see it, you'll use it, and you'll have some fun.
I'll be checking that out.
Very cool.
Yeah, I guess I better drop the link, huh?
Yeah.
Now,
Yes,
talk
yes,
about
please.
your novella that you wrote for it.
Yeah, at the same time as the floppy, you'll be able to acquire a novella, A Damn Dirty Thing.
Almost about 100 pages, right?
It'll be about 80 page,
Okay.
illustrated with illustrations that don't appear in the comic book. So, tell you what I'll do here, Rex.
Okay.
If it's
Share
all right
screen?
with you, yeah, I'll let me drop the link and then you share a screen, and I'll kind of give a little looky look here.
Keep Shadowhawk in your prayers, Doc. He's got 102, or he did have 102 fever.
Oh
Bad
my
weather
goodness!
coming in. D,
Yep.
what's the weather going to be there for you?
You know, it's been cold. Yeah, it's been cold. It's supposed to be like, I think, low of 50 tonight, so nothing too crazy, but it was 39 yesterday. So
Where you at?
Florida.
Oh,
So,
okay.
you know, so it's actually,
Good.
it is pretty crazy. It was down to like, I think 35, 34 a couple of days ago, which, you know, for Florida, you're like, what the hell? No complaints, no snow.
Mhm.
So
we are almost a year to the date of the tornado that hit me last year,
oh no.
and we're under a severe weather watch here. But so far, been good.
Knock on wood for sure. Hope Shadowhawk starts feeling better.
So
This
that's
is
a
the
trading card.
Uh,
And then if you look here, Tanner Hurley did that trading card. If you sign up, when you back the book, you'll get that exclusive trading card by Tanner Hurley. And then what you can get, we're offering a coffee mug with two different logos. One side, scroll back up. One side has a Bishop and Donovan Private Investigators logo on it, as if you got it from their office. The other side has the Damn Dirty Thing logo.
that's cool. Yeah.
And then if you scroll down just a touch, there's a mock-up of the novella.
80-page, action-packed, illustrated. Yes.
It's awesome.
And then here's your Pariah Blood and Mud.
Yeah, there'll be a second chance for Pariah Blood and Mud with the cover A.
Okay.
Scroll on down, buddy.
You got me scared now.
And then there's a little something right there.
What, here?
Right there.
You want to elaborate, or are you just gonna like keep?
That's a working phone number where you can contact Bishop Investigations.
Okay.
Baltimore?
It is something like that. Yes.
Nice.
Something like that. He did like a. I need to be a dentist.
Hang on, Rex. Go back.
Wait, where?
Go
Where,
back
here?
to that phone number. I was going to call it.
Oh, okay. Okay. Bailey's Bar and Grill.
Now that's an actual. That's the card that Jake Bishop is holding in his hand when he goes to meet Portia Vance to interview her.
State your name after the tone, and Google Voice will try to connect you.
Bob. All right, here you go. Listen. But be ready to leave a message.
Okay.
This is Bishop. Leave a message.
Help. Doc got me. That was cool.
Yeah, listen, I've lost my mind. I need you to help me find it. We're gonna be doing a when the campaign goes live, whoever leaves the best voicemail message for Jake Bishop is gonna get a little free something.
That's
pretty
cool,
cool.
man. Yeah.
We like.
I was going to ask about the coffee cups. Are you going to try and do something with your podcast as well? Because it's the coffee.
No, it's just, it's one of the things I want to do, and this is a little bit of a spoiler. I'm working on it. Here in the town I live in, there's an internationally ranked coffee roaster called Safe House Coffee Roasters. It's among the best in the world. And I'm going to try to get them to do a limited run of small packs of DDT coffee, Damn Dirty Thing coffee, with our logo on it, and put that on the campaign. So we'll see.
That'd be cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, I'll buy that.
Oh, yeah. This was an art piece I did years ago of Elsie.
Oh. Now, is that a lot of impasto I'm looking at there, Rex?
That is Casson.
I don't know what that means.
That's a type of. It's I don't know how you classify it. Kind of like oil paint, but it's not really.
Okay.
It's also fabric paint. Wait a minute, you're muted.
You're muted, Elsie.
Let me get to you.
Rex
here.
did it.
And we got John Dillard in here as well.
John Dillard, how the hell are you, brother?
I'm doing well. Thank you.
Excellent. Good to meet you, brother.
Good to see you.
How's it going?
Good to see you,
There you
man.
go.
Hello,
Show that-
everybody.
Show that again, Elsie. Is that it's dated? When did I do that?
On March the 8th, 1998.
98. Okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's some thick stuff there. I've got some glitter, all kinds of stuff on that.
1998. I was 13 years old.
What else you got there, Elsie?
I found this right behind it.
Oh, behind it.
Well,
Okay.
Charles.
Is this all artwork of you?
Well, Charles did this to me, my friend,
Yeah.
in Jonesboro, friend of Rex's too.
Yeah.
but he's
I
passed
remember
away.
I remember one of them we had, we drew each other. I think I drew you and
Hey, Gabe.
This is me, Charles drew me. That's, I believe, him. That's Chucky.
okay,
Different one.
Chucky being his oldest son. Did you grab the self portrait that I did of
I was
myself?
looking for it, but I was looking, but I didn't dig. But I just wondered if we have any veterans in the house, man. This is for you.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Doc's a veteran,
Very cool.
Navy guy.
Absolutely.
And this one here I did of when I was working. I did one.
I was too.
It's awesome.
This was a student when I was teaching.
Oh, that's really cool, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he and Charles did these painted borders around their paintings that I've kind of adopted in a few of mine.
You don't like it?
What you been up to, Dillard? Drawing, and more drawing?
Yeah, trying to catch up on a bunch of stuff that
What he
I
should
kind of
do.
overextended myself when I was having that financial emergency, so I'm just catching up on a lot of stuff.
Right.
That's what I've been doing.
Did you get moved back in?
Of course not. No.
No.
Still going to be probably another 2-3 months.
Okay.
Really?
Say, Dillard,
Wow.
I was explaining to my dad this morning and the palm tree scenario that you were explaining on another feed and having your cable set up to it.
Yeah.
Right. And his question was like, what town are you in down there in California?
Oh, it's a town called Harupa Valley. It's like, okay, Riverside is the closest big town. It's about 50 miles inland of Los Angeles.
Okay, gotcha. It's nice to have that summer kitchen outside and everything, right?
Yeah, it is.
That
It was.
is nice.
I'm glad we did that because it's kind of been like almost like being abandoned because nobody uses it except for me to barbecue,
Right.
Mhm.
And I don't really have like what you would call friends.
But it's been a lifesaver recently, hasn't it?
Yeah, like thank goodness that it was built well. I mean, so when I went and put up all of because my wife's uncle, rehab kind of guys, he was like, I'll do it because I didn't have the time to do it. Like, I'll do it. I'll charge you really cheap. And I figured, it was gonna be a little wonky when I bought the plywood to close it all off. I was thinking I was gonna have to make a few cuts, because it's not gonna be straight. Dude, it was spot on.
Nice.
Awesome.
Now, John, your home is on slab, right?
Yes.
Okay. I thought by looking at it that was the case. We got flood damage here too in the living room. Not as bad as you got it from the tornado last year, and it is, after all this time, not the first damn contractor has put in a bid to do the job. So I've just got a hump in my living room. Wow. From the swollen subfloor. Lovely.
Is that from just all the shortage of workers? It seems like everybody's just behind on everything right now, man.
These particular contractors are storm chasers, so they just go wherever.
Gotcha.
No, because it also has to do with what exactly, when putting in the bid and all that has to do with what exactly they feel the insurance is going to pay out, and if the insurance isn't going to pay out,
they're not.
What it's going to take, it's basically going to ruin their rep if they attempt to take the job.
It sucks, man. And then you're left in the middle. You know what I mean?
So, I'm going to attempt the job myself, but I have very little lung capacity left because of COVID. So
right, because of
it may be
that COVID got my lungs.
Proved to be the death of me, but we may have to just do it ourselves.
No, because the thing is, we had to pay for the plumbing, right, out of pocket. Get it replumbed, the whole house, and get it run through the attic and down the walls instead of through the foundation and up. And it ended up being about $7,700. And that was out of pocket. That hurt real bad, especially on top of me having to actually buy an RV to live in for the time being.
Yeah.
I mean, the RV overall, we got a pretty good deal on it. We ended up the RV MSRPs were around like 68,000. We got it for 44.
Wow.
I put 10,000 down, and it was a lot for me. I don't have that kind of money just floating around.
Right.
And I had to dip into like actual life saving,
Yeah.
So after that happened, but fortunately, the insurance is going to cover the rest of the house, which is going to be about a bunch. Because right now they offered us already 40,000 to redo the house, but I mean we have 2 bathrooms that are completely ripped out. They got to get completely redone, and an entire kitchen.
Wow.
Right, like all of the cabin and the kitchen. It broke my heart, dude. I love that kitchen. The kitchen was only 2 years old.
Oh,
Sucks.
So it's like the bathrooms where they were on death's door. So whatever.
yeah.
But they offered 40, so I'm like, we're still talking to them to see if that's actually going to cover everything. Because not only that, all of the framing of the house, all of the studs on the floor, part of the framing, they're all, because the flood was happening for so long without us knowing, they're just deteriorated. The wood just crumbles in your hand.
That's what I'm afraid I'm going to find when I rip that subfloor out, is if the joists took a hit too.
Like nothing. 2x4s are cheap, but doing it correctly.
Yeah.
And relining everything up so that the sheetrock lies flush. You need to know what you're doing.
Yep. Well, I hate that happened, John. I know I had to come out of pocket for everything here, and the savings are gone, baby.
It sucks, man.
Because you have your account. It's like your life savings that you never touch under any circumstance. Then you have your emergency fund for, you're driving down the freeway, your engine falls out. It's an emergency fund. And then you have your discretionary fund. Discretionary fund went out the window immediately. And then the emergency fund just started sifting through your fingers every day. More costs. And I was like, oh, I couldn't handle it, dude. It was giving me like chest pains.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
I don't have my backpack. And then I find out that like when they packed the stuff up, nobody told them don't pack up, because they packed up everything and took it to storage, and they stored it offsite somewhere in like Phoenix, all of our stuff. You know what I mean? And all the kids' clothes or backpacks, all the kitchen stuff, it's all in storage, dude. So I had to go. I can't send her to school in pajamas. I got.
Oh man!
And then she's feeling. I feel so bad because she's coming out of class with a plastic grocery bag with her homework in it.
Man.
That's so awful.
I was like, I swear to God, I bought her a backpack. It's just...
It builds character.
School years, they always give you a big list of stuff you got to have for them, right?
Yeah, she has all that stuff. It's just in a storage facility in Phoenix.
It sucks.
Yeah, that's and if you try to explain that, that's the old. Yeah, but my girlfriend lives in Canada. Yeah, sure, buddy. Damn, I hate that, John. I really do. I wish I could help, but our disaster here wiped me out.
And the thing of it is your water was running under the house for months. You didn't know that was going on.
Months. And that's the thing. I actually called them because I'm like, dude, my water bill is creeping up towards like electricity bill status, and I'm like, this is now. And again, I don't live on my own, right? On the property that we have my in-laws. We also have our babysitter lives on site in a trailer with her partner, and we have another friend living in a trailer on the backside. So I was like, I don't know where the water siphon is coming from. We also have a pool, so I'm like, I don't know if somebody's leaving it running. We also have a lot of animals, so I'm like, I can't pinpoint where it's coming from. But yeah, when I found out that we had a water leak for 6 months, I'm like, of course.
God, please help me find out why my water bill is so high. And he's like, okay.
Damn, man, I'm so sorry.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was a leak. I thought you had got an inundation from a flood or something.
No. But yeah, it was.
Yeah, I did
and then
too.
It's been better now. Now that everything's set up, I boarded up everything. I have a brand new, beautiful Jayco J-Flight 33-foot travel trailer. It's got, heating, air conditioning, TV, all that stuff, bathroom, hooked it up. Luckily, next door, I was telling you before, the guy next door, he empties out our septic because we have down there, because of my father-in-law has his Bajaretas people. He has a porta potty down there, and he comes every other week to clear it out. So he'll come, and he just hooked up a hose, so we just go directly to sewage.
There you go.
So we can just run it all the time. The only cost coming out of pocket that I do get reimbursed for is I got to run every couple of days and get 5 tanks of propane.
Yep. Jeez.
Wow.
Well,
It sucks when it's the middle of the night. I get a phone call. Hey, John, what's up? Like, I'll show you this DM I got from my wife. It's like, I'm cold. I'm freezing. Help! Exclamation point. It's like, and it's 2 a.m. and I'm in here drawing, right? And I'm like, can it wait? Realistically, can it wait? Can it wait till 6 a.m.? Because I can go to Harupa Dairy and I can get 5 tanks of propane for $100. Or I can go to the AM PM and swap out a tank in the middle of the night for $45.
Right.
One tank.
Oh God.
Can it wait? Realistically,
that sucks.
But, it can't, because I got a wife and kids. They need to be warm.
Yeah.
So I got to go into the gazebo, disconnect the propane from the barbecue area that we cook on, because you haven't been to my house, but you've probably seen pictures. I have a barbecue area, and right next to it I have a stove area, or like an actual burners, 2 burners. Yeah. They both run off propane. So we can't use the barbecue one because it'll smoke the whole place out, but we use the other one for cooking. But I got to go and disconnect that propane tank from that one, right? And then go and hook it up to and it's freezing cold in the morning. It's 2 a.m. My hands are freezing cold. I'm like, all right, this ought to last until at least 8, 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, and then they're gonna run that heater and then they get worried because what if the heater, and it does have it's vented, right? All of the exhaust goes out the RV, but they're scared that there might be carbon monoxide, so they leave the door cracked.
Oh, Lord.
I'm like, it's just all like the heater never turns off because it's never gonna reach an equilibrium, the temperature, because it's just all constantly on. It's like, and also this RV's brand new. It has 2 carbon monoxide detectors in it.
Oh man.
Oh, John.
You know how women are. They want to feel like they're safe all the time.
Yeah.
I'm okay. I love camping. You know me. When this thing first happened, I brought out my camping shower, my camping kitchen set up and everything. I'll sleep on the floor. I'm comfortable being uncomfortable. I like it. I got my little fire next to me, my little bonfire. I'm good to go.
But the kids aren't willing to live Neanderthal.
Dad, I'm cold. Am I gonna die? Are we gonna go to heaven because we're so cold? It's so terrible because I'm telling my kid all the time, right? Because she has all this stuff. I want a roller skate. Well, your roller skates are in storage, right? Well, can you buy me new ones? I said, no, I don't. No, we're not gonna spend money on that. Okay, fine. And I made the mistake of telling her, no, I don't have money for that, right? So now every time we go to the store and I tell her no, she can't have something, she'll say, why? Is it because we don't have money? This kid's killing me.
Oh my God. I felt that. Daddy, are we poor?
Yeah, no, it was so bad. I was watching, when the kids watch this show called Bluey, like a newer cartoon.
It's a great show.
It is. It's a really good show.
Yeah,
and I was watching it with them, and I was watching an episode that hit way too close to home. I had to turn it off. There was an episode where they go to they're walking down the street, and the dad is with his brother, and he's like, oh, can we get ice cream? Like, no, you can't get ice cream. He's like, but she got ice cream. So their cousin got ice cream. So he's like, all right, let's get some ice cream. And he goes over and what color are you getting? He's like, I'm not getting any ice cream. And he runs his card. He's waiting there. And he's sweating because he don't know if he has enough money on his card. And as soon as the card goes through as approved, he's like, all right, I'll also have a double chocolate, please. And I was like, this show is too real. I'm out of here.
Yeah, it's a great show, man. They make it fun for the adults. A little bit. It pulls at your heartstrings, man. Some of those episodes, dude. It's insane.
It's hard. It's really rare to find a show that you can actually watch, sit down, and also enjoy it as your kids are watching. And it's one of those.
100%. There's a couple episodes where my wife has to like turn it off, like the one where they're building a piece of furniture together, and it's about the kids leaving the nest essentially. And it just gets her every time. She's like, I got to get up and not watch this one, man. You know, just.
Oh, dude, there's an episode where they talk about like their aunt, but
who can't?
They can't have children. And it's like, oh, it's so sad.
It's sad, dude, and it's the best kid cartoon, but adult cartoon. Dude. And she wants to leave. We just watched that one recently. I mean, we've seen them all a million times, but that one was on yesterday, and it's like, oh, dude,
I've seen all those episodes 4 times each.
Yeah, easily, right? But it's a great show, man. It really is, dude. It's insane.
Rare. That one, and I also like Peppa. Peppa Pig is pretty good.
We haven't watched that yet. My kid's just so into Bluey and Paw Patrol and Ninja Turtles, that's cool. She's 3 and she loves the Ninja Turtles.
So.
Yeah, I got one coming, another girl coming in March. So I got a 3-year-old.
Congratulations.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. So yeah, it's
John, what are you working on? Anything you can show us?
Not particularly at this time. I'm actually doing some light sketching for a Sebastian for Pixel Trader.
Okay.
He did a book called The Little Mermaid.
Yeah,
parody of Little Mermaid, and there's a character called Sebastian who's a crab that smokes a cigar, and he lost a claw, and he has a knife taped onto like Chucky style, like a knife for a claw.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm doing a sketch up on here on the computer, and then I'm gonna transfer it over, print it out, and then paint it.
Right on. So is that for like a pinup?
Yeah, it's just like a pinup kind of deal.
Cool.
And then I'm just working. The majority of the morning was spent just working on this particular Captain Infinity page. So,
right on.
Well, this one right here I'm showing right now. I ain't finished working on it. What is this? Get out of here.
Broads in the bar.
Broads in the bar.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's it. Just regular work stuff. Haven't been able to work on the Yellow Flash project today. Not yet. I think I think before I do another page, because I'm working with another artist who's kind of like helping me with the artist I really admire named Kelsey Shannon, and
he's great, dude.
He's gonna help me with the layouts, get some more dynamicism going on in there. But I haven't gotten back from him on that, so I think in the meantime, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna redo the cover because I'm not happy with the cover that I did. Like I like it, but it's not like I look at it and I'm like, it's not knocking my socks off. It's not the best thing I've ever done. So I'm gonna.
Yeah,
I disagree. I seen it earlier. It was pretty good. Yeah.
I was showing Apex last night or this morning.
Oh yeah, I was watching the video this morning.
That's awesome, dude.
It's okay.
Well, you're always gonna say that, right? I mean,
no, I think the cover I did for Rex is awesome.
Okay, fair enough. Well, you're gonna know best anyway, man. So you'll knock it out of the park doing it again. So,
but yeah, this is my big list. I want this. I want everything that comes out for this book to be like the best thing I've done. Solid gold, you know.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yep.
It's gonna have a lot of eyes on it. Oh my god! Did you see the tweet my wife put out earlier?
No, God.
I was about to wring her neck.
I saw it.
You remember back in the day, there used to be those memes of like nice guy, bad luck Brian and good guy Eric and all that. And it was like some really goofy looking kid, and it would always be like some opportunity comes up and he has some horrendous bad luck, right? She put a picture up there of that guy, and she put Dillard finally gets a shot at a big project, and on the bottom she put CG Civil War.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then like immediately the first 2 people to respond to that were Maitland and Ethan.
And it couldn't come at a worse time either. I mean,
I know
your house is like in shambles. Your workstation is a mess, and then all of a sudden, like
that's
the one
my
guy.
fault.
Well, I'm just the one guy who's supposed to be paying you money for something. All of a sudden everybody's like, "Oh, he might be this, or he might be." And you're kind of like, "Oh, geez, man, can anything?"
Well,
else
that's the
fall on
problem,
this
right?
guy?
I'm not getting paid.
Well,
I'm a partner in the book, so I get paid on the back end after the book funds.
Right.
So it's like really
Still
need
though,
this book to do well, you know?
You're like, it's just one.
No, but
more
that's
thing.
that's the
now.
issue, Levi. That's the issue. Is like I've been for the last 6 months working on this book, meaning I've been really taking a cut in pay because I've been doing this book without pay, right? I've been working on other stuff just to kind of help with the bills a little bit, but for the majority of my income hasn't been there, and I've been kind of chugging through it, and then right in the middle of it, my house gets flooded, and I'm like, dude, my finances.
Right. But still, the opportunity
everybody knows,
to make the money in the end. You know, you don't want
everybody
that to go away.
knows the shitstorm is not of your making, and you have a lot of fans.
And like every storm, it's going to pass.
We're going to
like
blame
everything else
anybody.
does.
We're going to blame Rex's homeboy. God.
For real. Yeah.
I was going to say, though, you're working with Kelsey Shannon, man. That's an incredible opportunity, man. That dude is just badass.
Yeah, he was like, if I can help in any way, let me know. I was like, well, I sent him a DM, and I was like, well, let me ask you a question. I mean, how much are you willing to help? Because if it were up to me, we can get on the call right now and spend 12 hours a day on a call with you tearing my stuff apart and telling me how to make it better. I want you to critique me to high heaven, you know? I tear it apart. And he's like, well, I can't be that dedicated, but, you know, send me your pages and I'll give you like notes, you know? I'm like, okay,
see, ask for more than you hope to get and get more than you would have gotten.
I got to remember that.
That's awesome, man. Kelsey Shannon, the dude is talented. He seems like
I've been a fan of Kelsey since he did that cover for Iron Sights for Richard C. Meyer.
Yeah.
With that girl with the real heavy tits on the cover. Oh my goodness, it was beautiful. And I was like, yeah, if I could really work with anybody, it'd be Kelsey Shannon. And then Flash was like, you know what? Make that happen. And then like the next day I get a DM from Kelsey and I'm like, oh fuck yeah.
Kelsey, if you're watching, you have fans. Lots of them.
Yes.
Yeah. He's doing some great stuff with Mike Barron on Nexus now.
Dude, that book looks incredible. Those
I haven't
pages
even
you've been
seen
showing.
that.
Dude, you got to look at it. On his Twitter, he has a bunch of pages. It's and a couple of videos too of him doing like some black hole scene. And dude, it's out of this world, man.
Do you know
Gene Colan?
Yes.
The pencils look like Gene Colan.
They totally do. His style is so it's insane, man. How he can just switch the style up too, and it just looks amazing.
Ink it because you can just see where he's just in there shading all over, and you're just kind of
Crazy.
like, oh, what am I supposed to do here? This is beautiful.
Have you gotten a chance to talk with Kelsey? I know you're friends with Patrick. You know,
I haven't actually. No, I haven't had a chance. I just in passing. I've been an admirer of his stuff. I follow him on Twitter, but no, I've never gotten a chance to actually.
I'll never forget one of the auctions he did on Ethan. He had a Superman. Now, it was real simple. He was like up in the air, no background. I think he was like squaring off with a robot. That thing went for like $75.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's insane, man.
Yeah,
insane. Whoever got it.
Yeah, like normally
I
don't actually, you know, I don't get high on my own supply. Like I don't buy artwork normally. I'm like, yeah, I do artwork. Why would I buy artwork? It's like, you know, selling weed and smoking weed at the same time. You don't do it. Right. So I'm like, but there's only like a few people who I'd like to own a piece from. Like I would love to own a Kelsey Shannon. I'd love to own a Rob Willis at some point. And, you know, I'd love to own, well, you know, Mark Teixeira. But yeah, I mean, Kelsey's one of them. He's like, I just love, and you know what, to a lesser extent, Narwhal too. I love the way Narwhal's brain works when it comes to composition and how he lays out panel. Great.
So Narwhal writes and draws. Is that correct?
Yeah.
He's the artist on all his books too.
Yeah.
Okay, because I was trying to figure it out because I looked at one of his. I love his stuff, dude. It's insane. It's so simplistic but not simplistic and just stylized, dude. Yeah, his stuff is nuts, man. Yeah, I was looking up trying to see if it was him that drew it, but I know on one of the books it had somebody else credited, but I guess it was a colorist, maybe. I don't know. But it was
because that's the thing. I'm not too like in on everything he's putting out right now, but I know the majority of the stuff he does write and draw.
Then his yeah, I love his stuff, man. I didn't realize that he was doing both those things. Yeah, his art has a really cool style, man. Yeah, I love it.
Gotta have a coughing fit, excuse me.
A lot of the stuff in my
Like
art
COVID.
collection is just stuff I would go and try and pick people's brains at conventions and buy the artwork for examples where you just kind of take it home and dissect it and stuff.
Mhm.
Or you just buy it as like what do you call it?
Reference. Yes. Yeah. There you go.
Reverse engineering.
Well,
I'll do that.
yes.
Give me a moment of your time. Give me your ear. I'll buy some artwork. You know.
Oh yeah, no. He broke down a page and he specifically pulled out a page and he offered it up to him. He's like, "You should buy this one," and it had all these great texturing on all the bones and stuff like that. And I get it home and it was the splash page to Wonder Woman like 201 or something. I couldn't believe it. I was like, "Holy shit! This is actually like a really good page to have."
Oh, that's super cool.
I know Dillard likes Mark Texeria. I met Mark first in 1985 in Chicago, and he drew me a remarked. That's when he was doing Ghost Rider, I guess, and he did a little Ghost Rider head with flame and stuff, and on the program for me. But Levi, have you met Tex?
Yeah, yep. He's been at a couple of conventions. I got some stuff signed with him. I don't know him personally or anything like that, but
yeah.
He so we had a group in Emerald City called the Sketch Crew, and one of the guys had his girlfriend come in and be our booth babe as Supergirl, and yeah, hey, brings it in. So
yeah.
Just as a real good girlfriend or wife does, they'll go around the convention taking care of stuff for you, getting autographs or this or that. And she ended up going over to Mark's table, and Mark, he went. I'm blanking on the darn word here. He went crazy over. Basically, he's like, "I've never done a Supergirl print, you know." And he's like, "Can I please take your picture?" and all this other stuff. So, I don't know if he ever did it, but yeah,
that's awesome.
He was a real nice guy.
Are you ready to tell us that Rob Liefeld story?
Well, not to be honest with you, I was thinking about saving it for my campaign, and if I reached a certain plateau, I would tell my Rob Liefeld story. But with the name like name like Levi, you got to imagine I've got a really good Rob Liefeld story. So
that's
yeah,
501 Blues.
Yep. Yeah, and it wasn't necessarily when I was talking to him the first day, it was more or less the interaction I had with him the next day before the con opened up. So that one was pretty funny. Yeah, super cool guy. I mean, it's exactly everybody I've talked to is you know, if somebody hates Rob or whatever it is, you know, usually you hear a guy go, one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet, you know, and then you meet him and it's like, sure enough, he's like one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet.
Have you guys ever seen that documentary, the Image Revolution?
Yep.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, he looked like he was a great employer. I mean, everybody seemed happy with him. He took care of everybody. And a couple of conventions I've been at, I've never spoken to him directly, but I've seen him outside just shooting the breeze with like just random people, just having a good time. He gets hate for no reason, man. Yeah. It seems like, I don't know him personally, but yeah, it seems like he's just an all around good dude who just gets hated on, you know. But
what if we find out that Liefeld is like an actual real life monster?
Then he'd be like everybody else, right? It's like Ted Bundy. He was such a nice guy.
You see his interviews and then you see him in person and he's exactly the same person.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You know? Yeah.
Guys, I hate to cut this short on my end. It's got to go, you know, Rex, I'm the cook of the house. So I got to go cook for the girls, man. But thanks for having me on. I love talking to you. It's nice to meet everybody.
Congrats on your book.
On again. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.
Congratulations.
Thank you. We had another one, I think, while we were talking as well. So thank you so much, guys. So good luck with everybody's houses. I'd love to get back on with you guys and shoot the breeze again sometime soon. So
yeah, man.
Awesome, man. Thanks, guys.
Hit me up on the Twitters.
Oh yeah,
I'm the only one there, and I'll have you out on my show.
Dude, 100%, man. I can't wait to sign up and call that number later on too. So
yeah, all right, buddy.
Later, boys.
I ain't calling nothing.
Whatever.
Hello? Is this Jake Bishop?
Why are we getting an echo?
Because of LZ.
It's on LZ's side. He can't.
LZ, have you got YouTube running?
No.
He doesn't have the earphones.
Gonna get some earphones or earbuds or something probably.
Okay.
Did you show everything that you wanted to show, Elsie?
Yeah, man. I mean,
Okay.
I probably do like the dude need to go step out and get something to eat.
Okay. All right.
I'll be in touch with y'all.
How about you, Levi? Did you show everything in your treasure hoard
See
there
you again.
that you
Pretty
wanted
much,
to
I
show?
think so. Yeah.
Think
Yeah,
so?
Luke, thanks, buddy. Take care
See
of
you,
yourself,
Elsie.
man.
See you, LZ. Take care,
Yeah,
buddy.
Elsie.
Peace.
Later, man.
Stay warm over there.
Oh yeah, man. We got it coming.
I may send you a link later because I may have a drawstring.
We seem to have dodged the bullet here where I'm at, because they were calling for some pretty horrific weather, but it didn't manifest.
Not up here. We
Well-
had 2 squalls come through. Lewiston got 4 inches in
What
like
in the world is a
2-3 hours.
squall?
It's a major snowstorm that
Oh.
yeah.
I was
Hey,
thinking
you-
my ex-wives, but anyway.
What the heck is snow?
A squall at sea in the Navy is a thunderstorm.
Yeah.
The big thunder boomer.
So it's just what the Weather Channel was calling it. A big yeah.
I still
So-
to this day have no
See you,
idea
Shadowhawk.
what an El Nino is.
Well, the other day I asked you if you'd been through Spokane, and you said you had. What time of year did you come through?
All times of year.
Yeah.
Like, the thing is this, like when you drive a truck, right? Like I can make a route going from California, where I'm at, all the way up to Spokane, all the way over to Jersey, all the way down to, Pensacola, and then back 7 days.
Right.
And, I drove all over the country for multiple years. It's like, I can't remember all the places, and I've been through all the places in every season.
Right.
Right.
Sometimes you get stuck in the Missouri, Kansas area where you just keep doing a loop for a month. Back here. But normally it's just all across country, from Wyoming, California to
Here's our pride-blooded
Opelousas,
bud,
Louisiana.
Tapestry update. Still
Right.
wrinkled as hell.
Yeah, I thought that those kind of, even out after a while.
After 2 weeks, you said, 2-3 weeks, it should, but
Oh,
it's doing
the
nothing,
tapestry.
Doc. Yeah, the tapestry's doing nothing.
Well, you just put words right in my mouth. Let me spit them out. I didn't say shit about that. Anthony said, a couple of weeks, the folds come out.
Right?
Those wrinkles look good.
Yeah,
They're-
nuts.
they're-
You know what?
Oh,
That
my-
reminds me. Anthony said he was going to send me a picture of that one that I did on a poster or a black light.
Yeah, he had a didn't he have a flocked one done?
I don't know.
I think that's what it was. Hit him up about it. Don't give him no slack.
I'm not involved. Levi, I did a mashup cover for a poster for the Pariah Lightbringer.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I was supposed to get a nice comp for that
If you back
juicy tapestry.
if you back Docs
No
and
comps.
Lightbringer is still up, so you could still conceivably, if you haven't backed Lightbringer yet, like myself, I could back it and actually get Dillard's print.
Lightbringer 2. I think.
Lightbringer 2, right. Yeah.
Yeah, hit Anthony up about that, John. Don't let him off the hook.
Pastmaster Dan coming in late. He says, how's the house coming, Dillard?
We have hot water in the house, and we have one bathroom in the detached. Because me and my wife have the detached area, the master bedroom on the west side of the house. That one wasn't affected by the water,
Oh, that's
though we
good.
had no power and we had no water to that room, so we couldn't really stay in there. So, but now we have power to the house. We have hot water, so now we can do laundry in the garage and we can take a shower in one bathroom
Nice.
Did you
and use the
did you
toilet
take
without
the-
dumping pool water into the reservoir.
Yeah.
Did you not take that one room that wasn't affected and use some of it for storage?
No.
Gotta live somewhere.
I gotta sleep somewhere,
Well, yeah.
sleep with a bunch of boxes. But yeah, so me and my wife still have that room. So that RV that we bought for us, we're letting
Bless you.
we're letting my in-laws stay there in the bigger bedroom, and the kids sleep in the bunk bed area of the RV. But so we have the ability to take we have hot water now. All the plumbing is done. We You have hot water, cold water, washing machine, showers, toilet. But the rehab of the house has not even started. So
yeah, it's a long road to hoe, buddy.
it's nice though to just be able to go in somewhere and take a hot shower and be done.
Yeah, yeah.
Without having to go and boil water and put it in a camping shower and hang it up. You know?
No, it's like you, after a while, you say, is everything got to be a process? That's what I was saying all day today. It's like, it's everything had to be a process. This, I just want to do this. Okay, well, that leads, I didn't. And then this.
It does, because I got to boil the water, but I can't boil the water because there's nothing. Yeah, there's no propane, so I have to go and get the camping stove out and boil a small pot of water on that. But then, boiling a pot of water outside takes longer than inside because outside everything's cold.
Mm-hmm.
So my little canisters, my 1 pound canisters of Coleman propane, run out real fast. And then those things. How many do I have left of those? So I got to make a run to the Walmart and go get more. And then I found out those are so expensive nowadays, dude. Like I used to get a pack, you get a pack of 4 green 1 pound propane.
Yep.
You get a pack of 4 for about $12. They're $10 a piece at the grocery store.
Wow.
Yeah.
If I go to Walmart, I can get 2 for $10.
Yeah.
They're so expensive now.
Now mine isn't that there's a process to everything, Rex. It's that whatever it is I'm going to do as the first thing I do on any given day is going to find a way to fuck up. So the first thing I was going to do this morning when I woke up is reach over and get my glasses. So I reach over to get my glasses, and of course they fall on the floor. And it's like, of course, it's the first thing I'm doing today.
He reached over, he put his glasses in his mouth and his dentures on his eyes.
I don't have dentures, baby. Still all natural.
Let's see that dog, Levi. Come on.
Got him. Levi's muted. What are you doing?
Sorry. This is Parker.
Oh.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Yeah. Parker. Hey, Parker.
Oh,
He's a
that's
good
a
boy.
dog.
He's a good boy.
Yeah.
Yes, he's a good boy. They've been outside. It only got to 3 degrees today. So.
Oh, crap.
Yeah. Yeah, she was outside.
Levi's up there playing it cool. Yeah, no big thing. We dodged a couple squalls, and it's like 3 degrees. Wow.
It's Spokane, born and raised.
Hey, listen, I'm not living any place where the temperature is that low.
Dripping.
Winter of
You gonna
89.
move to Florida, Doc?
I'm almost there now.
Yeah. The
Yeah,
weather they've been having come through there, I wouldn't move to Florida. Hell no.
My hometown south of here, which is just a skosh north of Savannah on the coast, is remarkably warmer than it is here because of the Gulf Stream.
I thought the entire South was pretty warm, but then I got stuck back in 2014 in that snowmageddon of Birmingham, Alabama.
Right.
Snowmageddon.
It happens.
Dude, we were stuck for 3 days on the highway because all the cars just started sliding off the highway and crashing. I had to pull over the truck. Luckily, I had food and water under the bed, and I was able to weather the storm. But it was like there was nothing for 3 das, nothing.
We're
nothing.
We're at a higher altitude here where I'm at, so it's concurrently colder. Down there, it's sea level. You're on an island. The Gulf Stream is right there, so it's warmer. That's where I want to go back. But I can't afford it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You can't afford to maintain your cushy lifestyle.
Well, I mean, yeah, I could get a 1-room hut on the beach, a Gilligan hut.
I always want. I'm deathly afraid of gators. And I think probably more than just because everybody should have a healthy fear of alligators. They're not playthings, but I think I'm probably a little bit more scared than I ought to be. But I've always wanted to live on one of those houses, like on the bayou, like right on the water.
Yeah,
like a nice big porch. Just shoot it like snakes that are swimming through the area, Pick out my banjo.
John.
Hey, look at that.
What's up on your wall?
That's a Henry Golden boy.
Yeah. What caliber you got?
This is 22.
22. Nice. That at a gun show. My dad.
That reminds me, I do have on order now. I got the new Henry coming out, the 4570, the one that actually has the side loading gate. It's on order.
Oh, very cool. Very cool.
That's the main reason I didn't want to get it. When I got this Henry, I was amazed at the butter smoothness of the action of this rifle. It's like nothing I've ever experienced in my life. And
right out
I
of
was
the
like,
box.
right out of the box. Right out of the box. And I was like, I want a Henry and I want a 45-70. I'm a big fan of that movie, Young Guns.
Mhm.
That was the gun that Doc had.
Right.
Kiefer Sutherland character. But I wanted the side loader because they only had the tube loading for the longest time. Henry only made it tube fed. I don't like that. You know, it's like anti-action. You know, it's slow.
Right. It's
you know? It's stupid. But and then I didn't want to get a Marlin because they were saying that Marlins kind of went through a change in ownership and the quality went really down. And there was no, and I was like, because of the action on the Henry, I was like, I really wanted to be a Henry. I just kind of forgot about it. Like, never mind. And then when they did come out with a side loader, you could still tube feed it, but it also has a side loader, so you can do it like cowboy style. Oh my God, cool. I'm waiting. I'm so happy. It should be about 5 months though, but I'm gonna get it.
Nice.
My last present from my dad was the Golden Boy 22. He purchased he purchased a oh shoot, I'm blanking. He purchased a ticket, and they come on. I'm sorry, man. I've had 3 strokes. My brain's tired right now.
But like a deer ticket, like a hunting ticket. What are you talking about?
Not a hunting ticket. You go to the gun show and you buy a ticket. Raffle.
Oh, a raffle.
I couldn't think of raffle. So he gets a phone call, and months later, and he's like, "Hey, you won the Golden Boy." He's like, he couldn't remember what it was, and he won the 22 Golden Boy. And you see, he had to go to Cabela's and pick it up, and so. There's
they ain't cheap, dude. The Golden Boys, the 22, they're still like $600.
$5 raffle ticket. $5 raffle ticket. And so it on my dad's side, it's just me and my brother. But when he passes, we'll be splitting the guns, right? All my dad's weapons and stuff like that. And he went on this kick where he loved the Golden Boys so much, he purchased it in every caliber.
Oh, Lord.
Right. So 5 of them. Okay. Wow. And then so once a year we do this thing called Scheme Boys Weekend where we get together, go camping with all the boys and stuff, and we teach them how to shoot and we teach them how to roughneck and stuff like that. So my brother, he's not really a limp wrist, but he likes the smaller calibers. And me, I pack a 45, right? Knowing that my brother would eventually end up with a 22 Golden Boy, I went ahead and got one for myself. So
it's my favorite gun. It's my favorite gun that I own.
Right out of the box. Had 5 targets up, hit 4 of them in the first 5 shots.
Dude, I mean, the thing weighs close to like 9 pounds, and it shoots a 22. Yeah. It has less recoil than a Daisy Red Rider BB gun.
Yep.
Wow.
It does not move. You can shoot a flea off the pig's ass, dude. It's just boom, boom, boom.
I hear more crowing going on right now, Doc, than your rooster.
The roosters are not crowing here. So
okay. Well, they were the other day. I kid you not. I'm not read my lips. 15 gauge. My uncle had a 15 gauge, not a 16 gauge. Have you ever seen a 15 gauge?
Never even heard of one.
I've shot it.
I haven't shot one.
Yeah, I used it a little bit, and I was like, "Oh, dude."
And isn't a 14 gauge? Isn't a 14 gauge pretty close to like a handgun round? Because they have the 14, the Judge, right? The Taurus Judge. It shoots. I think it shoots a 14 gauge shotgun shell. It's pretty small.
Yep.
And it also, I think, a 44 long Colt or something like that.
We ended up trading off the Judge. It's the only gun that ever really spit at me when I shot it. It ended up, it nicked me. Wow. I couldn't believe it. I took one shot off of it, and it spit just, nicked my cheek. One of those things where I'm looking for paper to stop the bleeding.
Like, I don't have experience with shotguns because I've tried a few times, and I guess because I never owned one, I never got good enough with it. Like, you know how people say once you use a shotgun long enough, you get how the bead sight works, and you can hit stuff. I've never been able to hit the broadside of a barn with a shotgun.
Yeah, they're fun.
No, but you'll scatter a crowd that's rushing you.
Yeah, to me they seem like a great idea. I just don't.
Especially with
can't hit anything with it. We were doing you get the little we don't have a lot of money, right? So we got the little clay pigeons with the hand thrower. You can chuck it one by one.
Oh yeah.
And I was able to hit one with my 38 special. Bam. But you give me a shotgun, I'm missing every time.
Have you ever done a saddle gun before? It's the okay. What was the TV show with had the shot off lever action?
TV show. You talking about Mare's Leg?
No, a Mare's Leg. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I never shot a Mare's Leg, but
those are difficult as well.
You were thinking Steve McQueen in Wanted Dead or Alive, right?
Yes, that's what I'm thinking of. Yep. The Steve McQueen.
Yeah. Quick action.
I know, and there's another gun I thought was beautiful. I wanted to get it's the gun that was featured in Terminator 2. It's the pistol, not the pistol, but the lever action shotgun that he has when he's on his motorcycle that he's spin cocking as he's fighting. Oh my god, I wanted that so bad. True Grit. John Wayne had a Mare's Leg in True Grit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
When he tells him, he's like, "That's some bold talk for a one-eyed fat man," and he goes, "Feel your hands, you son of a bitch!"
It rains, boo, boo, boo.
Yeah, I've only
He
shot
got the reins in his teeth and he's spin cocking the rifle. Oh, it's great.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good movie. His only Oscar for Best Actor. True Grit.
That's actually one of the few remakes that's worth watching. That one
Did you like it?
I did.
It was good, yeah.
Jeff Bridges, yeah. It was really well done. I was surprised.
Yeah.
I anticipated being disappointed, you know.
Did you see it, Levi?
No, I haven't. Not the
remake?
The remake. No,
I've seen it. I still prefer the original, but you know, it wasn't that bad.
It was well done. I liked it.
It was well done. Yeah.
I think it suffered a little bit from the Batman Bane syndrome, where you couldn't, every now and then, you just, no matter how hard you were listening, couldn't really make out what Jeff Bridges was saying.
I just like in particular.
For the most part, you could, but every now and then, it's like, what the fuck did you just say? He mumbles and growls so deep in that movie.
In the very end, when Maddie goes to track down, what's his name? She finds his partner. Guy stands up. I'm sorry to say, ma'am, he passed away. Blah 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 blah. She's leaving, and the guy that didn't stand up, she goes, "Keep your seat, trash."
Yeah, I would have loved to have inherited that 15 gauge, although it's impossible. You'd have to make your own shells for that.
That's impossible to find equipment to make your own shells. Nobody does it.
Yeah.
Because it's just so cheap to buy shotgun rounds. You know, it's nobody reloads.
They're going to start doing a new tax here in Washington State on our ammunition.
Well, of course they are.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh, that's what I was going to. When you were talking about the judge, I thought the judge was fired a 410 shell.
You can switch it out, right? With the judge, you can switch it out.
Well, it'll either fire.
That does sound right, though. The 410, yeah.
Yeah,
it's the little tiny skinny ones.
Yeah, it's either a 410 or you can put a solid shot in it. And I forget what chamber that is. Is it a 45?
I can't remember. We only had
it the chambers in a 45 Colt and 410 shotgun.
Yep, that's
okay.
Look at me remembering shit.
Is that all? Is that the only options, John?
Yeah.
The judge, yeah.
Okay.
The
well, it's not big enough for you? My God.
The drawback I heard to the judge was that the nylon or vinyl shell covers would melt inside the revolver chamber sometimes. And of course, you know, you got to stop everything there and clean that shit.
Yeah.
But that's the only drawback to it I ever heard. I thought about getting one just for the house, good home defense.
Right.
That's so there's a dirtiness issue with the gun then, because I wasn't the first one to shoot it. Maybe something like that happened. Because
could have been.
Yeah.
Because I keep hearing, because I've never fired a 45-70.
At
but
least
I'm
it didn't
getting it. I'm
explode
getting
in
it.
your hand.
But
No,
yeah,
it
they're
won't
saying
explode.
somebody in your chat saying that the 4570 has kick. Like
Yeah.
I've shot shotguns before. I'm like, I'm okay with the kick, 12 gauge. I one time when I was in high school, like I shot a 10 gauge, and I was like, I'm still okay with that kick. It's not that bad.
Right.
And I do have a 300 Win mag, and that's not. I can handle it. Like I wouldn't imagine that a 4570 is that much more kick.
It's a solid thump. It's not going to knock you down. You know.
Mm-hmm.
The only one that ever got me that way was we had a at the rifle range, one of the bases I was at, they had a working in 1903 A3 30-06. I did not expect it to kick like it did, but it's solid wood. It's not. There's nothing there to reduce the recoil, and it'll let you know that you shot something.
You won't.
There's
you
one
won't
thing
be
that
doing
Levi
the
was telling me that
Terminator spin around with it.
Yeah, what Levi was telling me that kind of struck the chord was like, I remember when I went to the range on my birthday, I was trying out a bunch of different guns. I was like, yeah, let me get a bunch of these guns. And I always wanted to try firing a Glock, right? I never fired a Glock before. And I don't have it anymore. I sold to my brother, then he sold it. I used to have a cheapo Rock Island Armory 45 ACP, 1911 style. And it was heavy, right? Big heavy slant, right?
Yeah.
And the thing shot like a dream.
Yeah.
Like coming down, and you can be able to do your follow-up shot real easy, real smooth, because the gun had that much weight on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, I tried firing a Glock with a 9mm, and that hurt my hand because it's so damn light. Like what really actually did my hand in is I had one of those small, it was called a Rossi. The brand was a Rossi, and it was a 357 Magnum, and it was a snub nose, and that thing hurt when you fired it. Like, because it's such a small, light gun, and it's such a big round that it's every time it hurt. When you fired, because when you 357, you can also do 380s, whatever. But when you put a 380 through it, it's fine. But when you put that Magnum in there, it hurts.
Yeah, my go-to was a Ruger Security 6 357 Magnum. I took it to the range, and the very first thing I did after that was go get some Packmeyer grips, because it was gonna rock your hands.
Yeah.
Well, I
I love that thing.
I don't
Like
mean to
they're
skip
solid. They got no give. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's just straight right to your bones. You know.
Yep. Why are we looking at Florida Man?
because Dillard's afraid of gators.
Okay.
There is a creature in the swamps who has survived thousands of years of evolution. It lives to
There's your
destroy.
lizard representation.
A mindless, eating machine. The beast they call Hogzilla.
After his latest get-rich scheme goes sideways, Gary Duba, the quintessential Florida man, ends up with a stash of somebody's high-end memorabilia. His gal Crystal is on probation and preparing for the fight of her life, squaring off against Australia's Queen of Combat. Delilah's got her back in training, staying off rich foods and the nose candy. Meanwhile, Gary and his best friend Floyd have been hired to wrangle a massive, abnormally aggressive feral hog that's terrorizing the swamp and wrecking Gary's old neighborhood. Can they bag the elusive monster swine without destroying the Sunshine State? Reserve your copy of Florida Man vs. Hogzilla, available on Fund My Comic.
Now, Alakazam, you can keep that shit at your house. I ain't going nowhere.
Alakazam, what part of the world are you in? You down on the bayou, or you Florida, Carolinas?
Canada.
Canada don't got no gators.
South Carolina.
South Carolina. You're in my neck of the woods. Beaufort, Port Royal, Hilton Head.
Ahoy, Passmaster.
Buford.
You are in my neck of the woods. Yeah.
No, I went driving through. I was in Louisiana, and I was driving through this truck stop, and I pulled into a truck stop. I had to go to the restroom, and it's built in such a way that everything is elevated. The entire truck stop, all the pathways, and the restroom is all elevated, and they have gates on like wire mesh fencing on all of the panels. And I was like, this is so weird. It seems so expensive and a waste. You know what I mean? It was like, whoa, so the gator, you don't come back and find a gator like chilling out on the walkway. You know, I'm like, get me the fuck out of this state, dude. And they tell you when you run your truck at night to stay warm, right? Sometimes a gator will go and lay under your truck for the warmth.
Yep.
So when you get out of your truck in the morning, make sure to jump away from your truck when you get out.
So,
dude, I was terrified. I was sitting there like, no, please, Jesus.
It's like
Alakazam, if you're 10 minutes from Bluffton, are you talking back towards Shell Point, or are you over close to Broad River?
He doesn't want to give you the name of his city. Take it easy, Doc. My goodness.
There is no other city.
Absolutely.
Maybe he don't live in a city. Maybe he lives out in the middle of nowhere with a goddamn gator in his backyard.
That's what I'm suspecting. There's if you go 10 minutes from Bluffton, you're headed toward a river called Broad River, and it is okay. Yeah, I know where you're at. Broad River is aptly named. You can barely see one shore from the other because it's an estuary. It's dumping right into the Atlantic. And when I lived down there years and years ago, the bridge, long, flat, then you get the center and it's, up here, and then it's got that metal grate on top.
How was that?
Now, if you're in a car, it's going to snatch you around and you're going to feel like you're losing control. I had forgotten all about it when I bought a motorcycle. I was coming back from Hilton Head up to Beaufort, and you have to cross that bridge. And as soon as I came around that long, slow curve and saw the bridge looming up, I went, "Oh no!
Oh no!" Oh man!
Yep.
I'm looking at pictures right now of that area around Bluffton. It looks gorgeous. It looks almost like a Hawaii.
It's beautiful.
Hey, you can get gators anywhere.
Gators. Yeah.
You remember the
Napa,
scene?
Idaho.
If you remember the Vietnam scenes from Forrest Gump, they're filmed on an island right there, Hunting Island State Park. It's a jungle. It's a tropical freaking jungle.
It's cool.
But yeah, they got the palm trees and the big live oaks with the Spanish moss, the cobblestone streets. It's beautiful, beautiful.
We say there's alligators, a chance of that all over. My brother was down in Napa, Idaho, and they had one of those lizard stores or whatever, and one of their alligators escaped there a block over from his house, 10-foot gator.
Lord help.
Last year there was a gator about 45 minutes from here, and you got in one of their big lakes or ponds.
Yeah, okay, they're not indigenous to the Great White North.
They're not indigenous, right? I mean, somebody could have let one out as a pet. I don't know how it got there, but could be your worst nightmare.
You guys remember a couple of years ago, the lady was walking her dog on Hilton Head, and a gator ate her dog. She had it on a leash, and she was trying to. My first thought was, if you live in that area, you know better. You don't walk a little bitty dog near the water.
Right.
There's dinosaurs in there.
Yeah, there are. But I mean, unless you want the dog to be like bait so that they don't get you.
Yeah, I mean, I would just be running. I'll miss you, Fufu. Sorry. But that thing ain't getting me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was just talking about that story the other day. Yeah.
Yeah.
How dumb you got to be,
This, I guess, up against maybe his backyard. Did you, I played it on here before. It's been a while, but that guy that he had his stogie, he had a cigar. He never let go of it. The gator came up and got the puppy by the leg and it was a smaller gator, but he didn't hesitate. He jumped in there to save, and he prized that thing open, got the dog, limped up there. That stogie was awesome.
That's those are little pond puppies. You can fight a pond puppy.
Yeah.
You don't fight the full grown dinosaur. Sorry.
No, I wouldn't recommend. No.
Like I like the outdoors, but I'm familiar with the outdoors where I live, right? Like I know not to, do certain things because we got black bears, we got mountain lions.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to go someplace new where I don't have knowledge from birth about how to be safe. I don't want to be like, I don't want to be the next like Amos Moses, the left arm gone, clean up to the elbow.
Well, I never knew that about, your engine being warm and them getting underneath there for a little bit. That makes perfect sense. Yeah.
On Paris Island, there's a lot of.
No, because you also have what's called a bunk heater in your truck. So even if you don't have your engine on, you have a smaller engine in the back going on from a separate tank that keeps your or your heater on all night long at a low level. So that will stay warm underneath your truck all night long.
Yeah.
When I pull off from a snowy area, all underneath me is all defrosted. Take on.
We would Paris Island's a natural preserve. It's a game preserve. So the gators are thriving and they're there. And the recruits get a warning about where they can go and where they can't go when they come out there to bivouac for their crucible. But at night, when they're laying there about to go to sleep and they're exhausted, because you're always exhausted.
Is it maybe 4 feet? Haven't been drunk enough to measure them yet?
and you hear one of them go, oh, and they go on and on. They growl forever. And it's actually their I think that's their territorial thing they do. All of a sudden, you got 80 recruits that do not wake up or that do not go to sleep.
Yeah, it's terrifying. It's a monster. It's a dinosaur from a bygone age. No, like I know, when you grow up around outdoors, my dad was real outdoorsy, so we didn't ever went on vacation. We always just went camping. So we lived out there. So I don't get too terrified when I see a mountain lion or a bobcat or a rattlesnake or something. Because I know when I see a rattlesnake that it's a rattlesnake. It's not a gopher snake. Stay away.
Yeah.
If I go to the South, I know they got things like cottonmouths and stuff like that. I've never seen it before. I wouldn't know the difference.
I would show you.
I don't want to learn. I don't want to learn.
Yeah. I feel that. I don't want to learn anything about cougars. Thank you. No.
And when you grow up around things, you get used to it, right? Like I'm used because I grew up around animals and horses and stuff. But there are people that have never grown up around a horse. They're terrified by the size of a horse. You know what I mean?
It's not the size that scares me, John. It's that the eyes are up here looking at me and that mouth's way down here going, hey, how you doing? That is a horrifying freak show of a monster.
Yeah, I'll get up. I have the horse right here. I'll have it. I'll pet his neck and all that, whatever. I'm fine because you're just used to it. You're used to it. I'm not used to gators like that. I'm terrified.
Yep.
My daughter was Cheney Junior Rodeo Queen. So, did lots of horses, lots of queening events. And
I even had I had a nightmare one time that I was being chased by a horse, but instead of hooves, it had claws and it had fangs.
Oh, geez.
What a freaking horror show.
No, my only complaint about horses is trying to load them. That's it.
They
got a mind of their own.
Barrel racing, Levi?
No, she was just into the queen and stuff. She did, Dusty she was an older horse. She was a previous queening horse. So she was, God, my goodness.
We don't know what that means. You'll have to tell us.
Basically, Dusty is, oh my goodness, well trained in what your kid is going to be doing at those events. Okay. So, like riding a seasoned horse. Exactly. Yeah. Yep.
When you get the best kind of horse, if somebody who's never rode a horse, get a horse that's knocking on death's door.
Yeah,
18 years old, Dusty was.
It's the best kind of horse to have somebody ride, a horse that has no more spirit left. That's the horse you want to put somebody, a novice on.
I got up on the back of one of those son of bitches. My first wife had one. Yeah, get up. He's friendly. I got up on that thing and he threw his head down. And he's going to buck, pull back on the reins. So I pulled back on the reins. And then he's going to rear up, pull down on the reins. I'm doing this. And finally, I just jumped the hell off. And I grabbed that bridle and I pulled him down here. And I said, look, motherfucker, I will never get back on your back if you promise not to eat me in my dreams. All right. That is, hell no.
Doc's nightmare.
I don't like drawing them. I don't like looking at them. I don't want to be around them.
Majestic creatures, Doc. You got to get a new outlook.
No.
No, that's fine because I'm in high school and then we'd be getting drunk in my buddy Jesse's backyard. And he's like, "Oh, let's get on the horses. Let's go ride a Corona to the river." I'm like, "All right, let's go." Fuck it,
I tell you what, John, I'll ride a horse if we go gator hunting from horseback.
Well, that's going to be an even bigger disadvantage. The horse is going to throw me, and then I'm going to be disabled. I'm going to have like a thrown ankle on the floor, and I'm going to have a gator right next to me.
Well, you can do that Terminator thing, where they're flopping around.
Should have been ahead.
I'll go gator watching. If you wait till I get my 4570, I'll go gator watching with you.
John Dillard being bucked out the horse.
John, you had a flashlight across the edge of the swamp, and you see all those glowing eyes looking back at you.
Yeah,
I'm not going in there.
Oh man.
The Mines and Booby Trap course for the night evolution is right next to the edge of the swamp. And we had a little brush fire started there because the night booby traps are little pin flares that would go off of the recruit trip.
Thank you, Alakazam. Flooded house, broken back, gator in my face.
Yeah, and so we went out there and we got these rubber mats on poles. We beat the fire out, but our night vision's gone. So now we got to make our way out of there. So we file up single file and hook on each other's web belts. And the guy leading us is the land navigation instructor for the United States Marine Corps. We figure we're in pretty good hands. Yeah, I'm number 2 in the line, and he goes, bloosh, steps in the water, and here, and he says, "Whoops!" I'm like, "Oh, hell no!"
Like Jeff Goldblum in Independence Day. Whoops, whoops, no, whoops, what do you mean whoops?
Yeah, whoops, what whoops?
Oh man, you got to be careful around water.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what.
I almost jacked my back up permanent. We were down in Mexico. We were visiting my buddy's.
I thought
family.
you already jacked your back up permanently.
Well, this is when I was younger.
Oh,
but, we were down in Mexico in this little town called Las Pintas, right outside of Guadalajara, and it was one of those real rural towns in Mexico where they have a plaza in the middle of town, and every Saturday, all the young kids would go up there to court each other, and all the parents would sit around the plaza and watch. Right. And, the neighbor, awesome. The neighbor guy, he didn't own it, but he ran it. He had access to it. The arena, the bull arena, the horse arena, it was a big old concrete, almost like a Roman Coliseum, right? Made out of just layered concrete, and what they would do out there is they would all get drunk and place bets and see, they would get an angry bull and see who could stay out the longest after they were drunk.
No, God.
I don't want to seem like a bitch, right? I'm like 19 years old. I was like, Daddy didn't raise no bitch, right? I'm going to get on that shit. Dude, the bull fucking threw me. My legs hit some bars and my back just went straight to the corner of a concrete. I was like,
Yeah, no, that's a hard.
It's like you ever been on a quad and then your body just goes flying, and you're like, normally when you're a bigger dude, you kind of feel comfort in the fact that you always have control of your body. Mm-hmm. But this thing didn't give a shit. It just threw me like I was a rag doll. My body was out of my control.
Yeah, I'm not.
And the bull didn't even have any horns. I guess they chopped his horns off just for the purpose of having fun.
I'm not doing that. Not doing it. No, that's a hard pass. Hard pass.
So my best friend growing up, he lived 2 houses down from me, and he had a ton of cows. And what we used to do is we'd go up in the hayloft and we'd drop the hay down through the chute to get the cows to come into the feeding area, and then we would pop down through the chute and jump on the cows and then ride them out.
Oh, hell no!
Yeah, it was a great way to mount them. It was.
Now we would do cat rodeo when the cows came down the chute in the evenings to get to their water. Grab one of the feral cats and just throw it on the back of a cow and see how long it could hang on. That was always fun. Cat rodeo.
That's. I think I've heard a joke like that.
Well, all I can tell you is it's based on a true story because it's something we did.
Yeah. Something to do with rodeo sex and saying something to the girl and hanging on for 3 seconds.
Yeah, I've seen that guy Alakazam on YouTube. Guy stalks the Everglades barefooted and just goes out and grabs cottonmouths and timber rattlers and
No way.
friggin' gators barefoot. Gets bit and goes, well, son of a bitch, I got bit. Yeah, that's not me.
I'm trying to find this image that I saw on Twitter. It was the most amazing set of images. It was a big old country, bayou black man, fat man. He's sitting there on the bank eating a pizza with a gator, and then you see him wrestling the gator over the pizza, and then you see him like drop kicking the gator in the face.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, he was hilarious.
Oh, he gave me kisses. Yes. Now there was another guy. He used to go around the schools and show off Rattlesnake Dave or some shit. I forget his nickname. he would wrangle snakes and whatever, and he was like Steve Irwin. One of them finally got him and killed him. So yeah, that didn't end well.
Oh, I found the image here. Pull it up.
Yeah, I saw that one. It was hysterical.
And immediately it reminded me of that song, that Amos Moses song. Where his daddy used to use him for alligator bait. Tie a rope around the boy, threw him in the swamp.
Jeez. You got to know that was some pretty good damn pizza if you're going to fight a big bull alligator for it.
Well, yeah. Well, pizza, and how can you make bad pizza, right?
Ooh, I don't know. I've had some bad pizza.
There's a lot of bad
pizza. I made some bad pizza.
So
look at this, Rick. Look at this. Share what I'm showing here.
Okay.
Man, enjoying a pizza with his gator.
Hell no. Let's see that.
And then the gator gets greedy, right? And he starts fighting over the gator with a pizza.
That's it.
And then
yeah.
There you go, right here.
And mind you, there's 4 of them.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Called in help. Free pizza, guys.
Can't trust them gators as far as you can throw them.
Don't mess with that man's pizza. He will whoop your ass. Period. Don't matter what you are.
All right. Since we're talking about pizza, pineapple, yes or no?
No.
Absolutely.
You're outvoted, Doc.
That's
anything you want on a pizza is fine by me. Pineapple tastes mighty fine on a pizza with some Canadian bacon.
I got to bounce, fellas.
Bye.
All right, Doc, go say hi to Tessa for us.
Go eat your plain pepperoni pizza, your cheese pizza, like the Home Alone kid. Telling you, some people are just stuck with the same palate they had when they were 6 years old. Yeah,
I love it. Yeah, Hawaiian pizza. I mean, I did just say that you can get a bad pizza, but a lot of pizza is really good. I'll even do the dessert pizzas and.
Yeah, like honestly, dude, like I'll get a hot and ready $5 pizza and enjoy the hell out of it in the car. I can't eat the whole thing, but I'll eat a good 3/4 of it.
Right.
Tastes good to me. It's not the best pizza I ever had, but just even bad pizza is better than most meals.
True. Yep.
Not picky, Rex.
I'm not picky when it comes to pizza.
No. I married my high school sweetheart. And the very first time I took her to she come over and I was going to cook something for her. I'm like, what do you want? And she's like, what do you have? And I'm like, well, we have this, this, and this. And I had some frozen pizzas from Costco. Right. And I go, I even got some pizza. And she goes, pizza, let's have pizza. And I pull out of the freezer. And she says, what's that? I said, it's pizza. She says, real pizza isn't frozen.
Debuting this day in 1968, 58 years ago.
Still the best Batman logo ever made.
Can you believe it's been 58 years ago since they came out?
I don't know. I just always figured that it was old.
Yeah. I'm just a couple months older than Batman. The show, anyway.
When I was little, they remember that Batman from the olden days they sometimes show on reruns?
I'm sure you've seen it. Big Pant. Pow.
I've seen the intro probably a couple dozen times. I've never actually seen an
Really?
episode of that old cartoon.
Yeah. Yeah, like hard watch. You know, I could see where it'd be impossible to watch for some new people.
The original show?
Yeah.
No, I've seen a lot of episodes of the Adam West show. I've never seen the cartoon.
Oh, have you?
Oh, okay.
Oh, the cartoon. Yeah. You talking the 60s cartoon or the 90s cartoon?
I'm sorry, you're chopping up real bad.
Tim.
Bruce Tim?
Are you talking
No, the 60s cartoon. The 60s cartoon I've never seen. I religiously, the animated series, the one that came out on Fox in the 90s, I watched that one every day after school.
Yeah, yeah.
That one,
Spider-Man,
that's what I used to watch. The Spider-Man 90s one, the X-Men 90s one, and the Batman the animated series.
Yeah, and
I was in 84, but I didn't really even start watching things that I wanted to watch until 8 or 9 or 10, you know.
Right. And you probably watched the X-Men, right, on Fox?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's some that 90s Spider-Man cartoon was great. But there's some cartoons, there's some shows that I used to like. In my head, I'm humming the theme song to them, you know, because they were some good theme songs back then, and they hit pretty hard. They were pretty great. But then when I went back to listen to some of them, they're not as good as I remember. There's only a few songs from cartoons that are, when I listen to them now, they're just as good as when I remember. One of them was the Batman. The other one was the X-Men. The Power Rangers theme song still hits hard. And the DuckTales theme song is still amazing.
Ooh, yes. Yes.
Everything else is kind of like, it's not as good as I remember. Like especially the Spider-Man one, that Spider-Man. And they they do techno voices in the background. I was like, oh, this is awful.
Yeah. But I loved the show. It was a good show, though. Good.
Oh, it was a great
I like
show.
the animation. In the San Francisco garter snake has been on the endangered list since 1967, as it's been labeled one of the most beautiful snakes in the U.S. Research estimated only 1 to 2,000 survive. Have you ever seen anything like that, Dillard, out there?
Wow. No, never. It looks like a toy, huh?
Yeah, it does till you get close to it.
Well, it's a garter snake. It's basically still a toy when you get close.
Yeah, it's not going to hurt you, but you know, with usually bright colors signify warning, right? Don't mess with me. Yeah. But around here,
I was actually playing with one of those. You know those little toys that the snake that's like broken up into like 50 different little articulable little pieces.
Yeah, usually out of wood. I had one of those.
And usually the bottom they have like a little set of wheels on it, so you can put it on a table and it'll go like that. Mm-hmm. I was playing with my daughter was playing with one of those at a restaurant. She kept going to people and putting it by their chairs, like she was trying to play a prank. Like, look, there's a snake next to you. She's 3. She's playing pranks.
That's good.
And then my brother, I was eating with my brother at the restaurant. He looks over, he's like, "Oh no, it's snake!" And he pretends it's attacking him, and she's fucking losing her mind. It's the best thing she's ever saw in her life.
I had a big king snake, big rubber snake. I came in and I worked at a bookstore, and my owner, the owner of the store, he hated snakes, you know, and I just kind of threw it up there on the. Walk. You should have seen him, man.
Alakazam says he has a wooden one of those that he got when he was little from the dentist. Yeah, they're great. Some of those toys are just, they're fucking great. They don't do anything. They just move. You play with them for hours.
Mm-hmm.
Got to come with a good idea for a fun toy.
Here's one, Levi. G.I. Joe #1.
Oh, very nice.
Now, see, that's the direct edition with the diamond up there and Spidey's head in the box. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on what year that is, you know, that could be rare or it could be, you know, it may not matter, you know. You got to look at those.
I had the reprinted version.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up selling pretty much 90% of my comic books about 6 years ago.
You did?
So, yeah. I had over
what the hell are you doing on here? Thanks for joining us, though.
I kept 10%. I kept all the good stuff.
Yeah, you did. You showed some good stuff, all signed and everything.
Yeah.
No, I have a bundle. I have a bundle of display frames that I want to put up behind me for the comic books that not valuable, but the ones that influenced me, the ones I really like. You know, like some of the early Ghost Rider or the early Sabretooth Texiera, that stuff. And I would really like to put a Kid Colt up.
Very cool.
Yeah, I owe him a Kid Colt #11. Yeah. Way to go. I'm glad you remember, John, because I think about that every day. Yeah, I've got to send that to you so I can get my 2 pages for Inner Man.
He doesn't know where it's at. He lost
it. If I'd had you do that, man, you could have got it in the trailer. Sporting the cover that John Dillard says, well, what'd you say about the cover, John? You really liked it.
The cover that I did for the Devil Flyer, I thought personally, when I finished with it, I was like, this is beautiful. This is amazing. I knocked it out of the park. I want to show somebody right now.
I think so too. Good setup. Good setup.
Very cool.
I did find some. Doc did that for me right at the end. You see the trident. I went to Walmart and I said, that's my trident. It's Aquaman's trident. I was wondering where he got that from. Son of a. Whatever.
So, John, on that cover, what was the art direction that Rex gave you for it?
Oh, constant and infuriating.
Yeah.
Yeah, he basically I had to do the best I could, given a very limited window of leeway. He knew exactly what he wanted. He showed me basically the covers that he had seen before that he wanted to kind of be like. He knew
the
that
all-new X-Men busting through the paper.
No, it went back further than that. It was the Atom.
Yeah, it was the Atom.
The Atom, the 60s Atom hitting the Golden Age Atom through the cover, done by Gil Kane.
Okay.
And I'm getting called a Brazilian artist on Twitter right now.
Well,
It was
better than getting a Brazilian.
Does that mean your page rates are really cheap then?
apparently.
Yeah.
No,
So
it was,
what-
but I knew what I wanted to go with, and I knew that I wanted to change it up. I wanted to make him harder. I wanted to make it sleeker, more shiny, more metal, less
Right.
curves, more angular, more aggressive looking, and more, kind of like that. And I think it came out perfect. I mean, it took me, the hardest part of that was the trident, because it needed to be perfect and it needed to be at the correct angle because it's coming at the viewer, right? It's coming at the viewer at a 3/4 angle and also slightly tilted like this. So I got to make sure to get that trident like that at a perfect angle, and
Right.
gemstone on top, and putting that in his hand and watching where the piping is going to go as it goes backwards. Now you just showed me something right now where the handle of the trident was twisted at the end. The original image, it was not twisted. I don't know if you changed it recently to have that spiral on the end of the trident.
You mean on the trailer? He just came up with that trident.
Okay.
I think it's Aquaman's trident, to tell you the truth.
But that was the hardest part. The actual, anatomy. I'm pretty swift with anatomy. I have to take my time on, man-made objects and backgrounds. That's where I spend most of my time.
Yeah, that's a great cover.
Going
back to that Brazilian artist.
You had to complete the trident as well later on, because it, didn't make it all on the cover, so that I could use that for like a t-shirt.
Yeah, I told you it wasn't. You said that was fine, and then later on you changed your mind.
For what? What happened?
Because you wanted to have it as a standalone image that you could put with the complete trident instead of it being cut out by the borders of the image.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
Apparently somebody's claiming because I'm drawing the book for Eric July. I mean, for Yellow Flash, they're saying this guy's been writing a comic for 5 years, and now he's going to use Eric's Brazilians because he cannot grift enough to pay a real artist like EVS. Apparently, I'm a Brazilian artist working on Fiverr.
Well, looking at it now, you wouldn't change a thing, would you? It looks good to me.
No, it looks good as a single image, yeah.
Not a thing. It's perfect, Rex. What do you want from me? You want more than perfection? I can't give you that.
Yeah. No, I'm not Jesus, but you do all right. You do all right.
What's going to happen when the dollar collapses and we can't afford those Brazilian artists anymore?
Oh God.
I mean, then the ratio is not going to be,
I do accept gold and silver bullion as payment.
Now this is an image that I'm going to have. This is a tribute cover for issue.
Oh yeah, I also during this financial crisis, I had to clean out half of my silver stockpile.
Oh, bummer.
Oh God, that's sad.
Hopefully you bought low.
Yeah, I'm gonna have Russ Leach do Crisis on Infinite Earth 7. I mean, it's tropish.
Still,
it's effective.
You beat me to it. It works. It's one of those covers that works.
Devilfire will be limp in Inner Man's arms is what's planned. The character that John's doing a 2-page for. As soon as I get him his comics. His comic.
I'm gonna have to go in a backstage with you, and because I don't have the saved files anymore of like the notes for what's gonna be happening on those 2 pages.
You don't. You don't. What happened to him?
Well, I have the image. I have the sketches that I did, but I don't have the layer. I must have deleted it that had all my notes on it. What you were talking about.
But we can look at your sketches and kind of,
you forgot.
It's on the first one. It's basically a turnaround.
Yeah.
That stuff was gold, John. We'll work it out. It'll probably be better than ever. Probably.
All right.
Yeah, I just wish we'd had it done, but that's my fault. Could have maybe worked at least one of the pages into the trailer. But case of Ross Raw. We'll get it going. I'm going
Whatever will be.
I'm going to be working on the campaign tonight and probably tomorrow and get that thing up. Approved and up. Because I'll be going on John's long box. I've been putting my new pins in my beanie, and then I go pick up my beanie, and they all fall out. It's like, damn it. Thought my memory.
All right, Rex, I got to get going. I got to get dinner going now.
Take it easy, John.
Gotcha. See you, John. Take care.
See you later. Nice to see you, Levi. Peace out, guys.
Take it easy. Yeah, it's 5 o'clock here too.
Lining up some new people, Levi, to come on here pretty soon.
Awesome.
I will be on John Longbox though. John's Longbox. Have you seen his show?
Yes,
YouTube?
yes, I have.
Man, it's awesome. The stuff that he's big collector. I mean, big collector. I'd love to just, I probably need to go on his channel. He's probably taking a tour through what he has. I'd love to see that.
The last show I caught of his, he did FF issue 1.
Really?
Yeah, wow. He brought out his copy. It's unslabbed. He brought it out and went through it.
Elsie had a Fantastic Four #1. He had a Spider-Man #1, but I never got to see him. And I said, man, if I would have known that you had a Fantastic Four #1, I would have been over there to look at it and just hold it in my hands and say, And I probably would have worked out a deal where I would have bought it from you,
Yeah. Yep.
That's my #1 on my want list. Probably is a Fantastic Four #1, which I just like the Fantastic Four, and I love that first issue. Probably about 1975, when dinosaurs ruled the earth, and Jimmy Carter was almost president. They published that in Dynamite magazine, a few panels from that, like Ben Grimm, them crashing and and it was the first Marvel comic book, the official, under Marvel Comics. When they first started out, Marvel, well, DC, DC did Marvel's distributing. And they were limited to 8 titles, Levi.
Mm-hmm.
They could only put out 8 titles.
Right.
And, there was limited money because you have to kind of resubmit for trademarks and get new logos and all that. So that's why a lot of the, like, Tales to Astonish became, another title. And, like, Tales of Suspense became Captain America. And, they used those old titles and just did title change. I think that's your dad in the background lurking.
It is. That was my dad. Yep.
Either that or you got gremlins.
Yeah. Nope. That is my dad.
But yeah, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Some great collectibles. It doesn't have to be the autograph stuff, but I always just like looking at comics, but yeah, man, it looks like you got a treasure hoard there just in that one short box.
Yeah, I said, I got rid of 90% of them, and I just kept all the keys and all the autograph stuff. So
man, that hurts me.
It hurt me.
You have to pare down,
Oh, and I pared down. Let's see here. I purchased that collection in 1998, and I purchased it from a pawn shop north of town.
Oh wow!
And it was over 120 long boxes.
Wow.
And he said it was 3 different stores down in California that collapsed during the collapse.
Right.
And it had I ended up sectioning it out and selling to there was a guy here in town that was in Guinness Book of World Records for the biggest paperback collection. and I sold him 10,000 in one sale, and it was man, I had like this many Spawn number ones. You could tell right when the store collapsed. It was like year 2 after Image started or whatever, and it was just stacks and stacks and stacks of reprint, not reprints,
right,
multiple copies.
Todd McFarlane said, I don't know why people have me sign Spawn number 1 because there's so many of them out there. There's so many other things that people could sign out. Have me sign that there's not that many copies out there, But there was a bunch of Spawn number 1s printed. And then once the run goes on a while, some of those in the last 20 years have become, fairly hard to find because people hold on to them,
Right. Yeah.
There's certain books like that. Unless someone passes away or something, a shift in the force, you just don't see them come up. There's like my last big purchase this summer was a Fantastic Four annual number 1. And it's graded. It's 0.5, but it's the best 0.5 you will ever find. I'll have to get it. I'm not even sure where it is, but I showed it. I couldn't stop showing it there for a couple of weeks after I bought it. I was like so proud of it. The only thing is it's missing the back cover. It's still got the spine on there and everything. You can read everything on the spine. It's just, it looks like somebody just took a razor blade. They didn't, but it just, I guess, I don't know what happened to it, but that, and I'm sure the shop owner had it graded, but it is, and I did a search and I'm still watching some of those. There was a bunch of them listed on eBay, a bunch, but that is a very key issue. That's one you just don't see out in the wild. And, I looked on the back, and the back is the last page of Fantastic Four number 1. They don't even say in the credits on the slab one that it reprints Fantastic Four number 1. I'm like, what the hell? It has the first appearance of Lady Dorma and Krang, the warlord from Atlantis. So it's got a couple of minor first appearances, but I mean, it's an awesome book. I mean, the only thing wrong with it is it's missing the back cover. That's all. I mean, it is. Otherwise, it would grade very fine condition for a square bound of that age, which is over 60 years old.
Yeah,
that's phenomenal. It was a nice looking book that you just hardly ever find out in the wild. And I compared them, with other graded books and other things. Mine looks better than a bunch of that stuff. I mean, you got to spend up to about $1,000 to find one as nice as copy that I got. Nice looking. As far as scuffing or wrinkles, or it's perfect, except it's just missing that back cover.
It's probably what did it in.
Oh yeah, that's why I graded only 0.5, and there were some other 0.5s I looked at, and they look like trash compared to mine because it's not all equal. They could have other things, that make it a 0.5. That's pretty low on the scale, but
right,
man, if that had the cover on it, it would grade real high and would be a very expensive book. So I'm just glad to have the books. It's reprinted, but it might even have some key, being that old, it may have some key ads in it. I forget, but I'm just proud to add that to my collection because, it's a good placeholder. I mean, you put it up there. If I put a fake little thing on there and said 9.5, if I put it back here, you'd probably think it was a 9.5 because it looks nice.
That would be good. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
You like that idea too?
I do like that idea. Yeah. Because I went through these comic books a little while ago, and I was thinking about getting some of them graded to sell so I could start paying for some from extra stuff for the book.
Yeah.
And oh man, I just blanked.
Well,
sorry,
you
Rex.
said you were you were considering getting some of them graded.
Yeah.
You were just going through them. Yeah. Well,
Blank
I
now.
was going to say about
Sorry.
those is that there's a lot of good memories associated with a lot of those, I'm sure,
Right.
but most things you can find in reprint, but I mean, so I kind of get it and I don't get it. I don't always have to have an original copy, but it's always great. Yeah, I was looking years ago, and it's probably went up now, but a 5.5 like Fantastic Four, I mean a nice looking 5.5 on eBay costs you about 35,000.
Wow.
I would, if I had the money, I mean, if money was no object, yeah, I wouldn't go all out and get just, one of the highest grade out there. Although it wouldn't
Right.
be a bad investment,
Right.
but it's just going to sit around and be looked at anyway, or you don't
So
really want it in the light all the time. So, but
if money was no option,
yeah,
maybe the better alternative would be to find somebody that's got it in the wild. So that way you have the option of having it slabbed and then the option of actually looking through it too.
oh yeah, yeah. I mean, like I said, if Elsie if I knew he had his one, I would have wanted to hold
Mhm.
that and just look through it.
Yeah. Just let me get
just
my
to
greased
say I
fingers on
did.
it. Yeah.
Once you start collecting, you say, well, I'll never have a Avengers #1. Well, I did. I'd had an Avengers #2 before I had a #1. I actually traded this kid for $35 for like a very fine copy of Avengers #2.
I traded my comic book collection one time too. My entire
Never
collection.
say never. When I'll never own this, I'll never own that. You never know what you're going to come about. I don't know if you heard my story, Levi, but guy that I and Elsie bought all the production artwork from and other things, a lot of what we have was bought from Key Comics. Anyway, Robert, he went to this laundromat and this old lady showed up and somehow they got talking about comics. I guess comics is on his mind. He's a big comic guy. I mean, he'd die hard. If he sold his collection, he'd be a millionaire, multimillionaire, maybe. I mean, that's how big into it he is. And it's not just that he has comics. He's got production art. He's got, he's got original artwork, all kind of pre-code horse stuff. I mean, he's about my age, and I mean, it's amazing what he's accrued, in the last 50 years now, 40, 50 years, But he went to a laundromat, and this old lady, she says, I got a box of comics that I was just going to throw away. I didn't want to throw them away in my trash can because they'd fill my trash can up. But she was a teacher, I think. Elsie told this the other day. She was a teacher, and they had Nazis. It was like Nazi covers and things from World War II. And so she couldn't show them to the kids. She was going to give them to the kids, let them read in class. I'm like, what the hell? Robert said, I got to be honest with you, ma'am. There's a bunch of these that could be worth a lot of money, that are worth a lot of money. And she said, I don't care. I was just looking for a dumpster big enough to hold them, instead of having to put them in my trash can. You're free. I'm glad to give them to you, and get rid of them. He sold one of the lower grade Wonder Womans for $3,000. One book out of the whole box full of stuff.
Wow.
And, of course, kept, some of the higher grade stuff that he wanted to keep. But Robert was big into X-Men like you and Shadowhawk. He had almost, when it comes to the early keys, I'm sure they were lower grades, but he had 1 through past 500 slabbed. And most of them were 9.8s.
Dang.
Because, he wanted at least 9.8, if he could get it.
Right.
But I mean, just think about that. If he just stopped at 500, but he had over 500, but he's had health issues, had his esophagus removed and everything. He sold that whole X-Men,
right.
Going to get the highest dollar for it. He got on the Valiant stuff very early, and he's got some of the highest grade you know, he's got 9.8s of just about all those early pre-Unity Valiants. You're going to have a 9.8 or better to get the highest grade because he's got them. A lot of people do, but he's especially got a whole bunch of them. So,
Right.
yeah, he was fortunate. He was good enough to get in on the Valiant stuff and invest pretty heavily in that. I don't know what he saw in it, but he, you know, and I think those are vastly undervalued. Really, I think
You're
it'll
talking
come
about
around.
you're talking about the original ones, right? Not the 90s ones.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Like the Barry Windsor Smith Solar and Archer and Armstrong and all those. Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've got a 9.8 Shadow Man #6, and it's got a Ditko cover to it. Even Ditko did at least that or a couple things for them.
Right.
That's pretty cool. So some of his later work, you know.
Yeah, I think.
But
I
yeah,
think
it's
somewhere down.
unbelievable. He's kind of like one of those roadsters or like a Rat Fink car or something. It might even have Rat Fink on there. You know Rat Fink?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. 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 He's
um,
Iron Elsie would love to go out there and just see what he's got, you know. It'd
right.
be amazing.
I'm still here.
Okay. It would be amazing to find out what he's got and just see some of his stuff.
I couldn't remember Floydman.
Is that the artist?
He talked about like some Rat Fink type stuff. Floydman did a bunch of the cartoon stuff, cartoons from the magazines.
Yeah. That's the Spectre and Casper. That's funny.
Yeah.
Now this says to Levi, do you prefer to have your stuff personalized to you?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yep.
But not in every instance, right?
Because not in
yeah,
not in every instance. When it comes to artwork, yes.
Yeah.
I it's not that you get a better deal, but it kind of shows more of a commitment, you know. Sometimes I've offered that up in the deal, you know, like, hey, if I do this personalized to me, you know, would you give me any kind of break on it type of deal? Just so that way they know I'm not a reseller and they know that this piece is important to me and I'm going to keep it somehow, some way. So
yeah, I don't really have a problem with that. And a lot of people will ask you, or they used to anyway, you know, well, what's your name? And then they'll go to Rex, you know, blah, 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 you know.
Right. Yeah. I didn't like it. I didn't, because I'm always such a horrible speller. I'd be like, spell your name out for me, you know, and then by the end of the day, you got a whole list of names besides you of people. So,
well, I guess we're gonna get out of here. We've been
good.
going.
My teeth are floating.
Yeah, your teeth are floating. Well,
my teeth are floating.
Yeah, holding. Yeah, I had to go get, not necessarily use the restroom, but something to drink. You gotta have something to drink to do this.
You do. You really do.
For any length of time. So
thanks for having me on again, Rex.
Hey, no problem. Thanks for coming on. I appreciate it. And had D on, you know, for Tome Reckoning, because he needing some places to get on. Glad to hear that he's funded and don't have to worry about that in the first 30 days. I think he only put it on for 45 or 35 days. That was kind of odd to me, but
it was quick.
He got funded, so
yeah.
I forget what his first campaign did. I mean, if he just wants to get it out to people, I think he's doing like $5 shipping, which is, you know, I think he said he's going to send out media mail, but media mail even now takes up about $5. You know, a lot of people won't do media mail. I mean, there's not really that much difference. I've done enough shipping in between media mail and first class to know it all gets dumped in a bin. Anyway, yeah. What pages are you working on there? That double page spread? Are you numbering them?
This is chapter 4, pages 2 and 3. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, coming along.
Coming
Good.
along. You know,
Yeah.
first 3 chapters are done. So basically the first graphic novel, working on the second one. And just trying to get back into networking again.
I don't know why
You
I
know?
never liked the format really. I mean, I did because it was kind of like opened up better than even though it was most of those, I guess all of those were glued, square bound, but they were big enough for like magazine size where graphic novel size where you could
Yeah.
open them up and read them pretty good. I did like the graphic novels. I don't know if they're hard to store, to find
Right.
something. Most you had to special order. It's not impossible. You can get boards and bags for something that big, but it's kind of like Mount Life magazine. You gotta. They even got Treasury boards and bags, which
the hard stuff to store. Yeah, it's really just it's only 64 pages. So, and we haven't looked into what exactly what kind of bindery we're going to do for it.
Yeah. Well, at the paper, it really depends on the paper. At the papers, I have some that size that are stapled in my collection, but it has to be almost on newsprint, something thinner. Of course, you can get some thin slick stock stuff, but I never liked that slick stock. And I, would get a comic home, a lot of that slick, and it would bubble in some cases or stick together if the ink is still tacky.
Right.
That's what I was saying about those gold DC logos that came out with Legion of Superheroes, or as he showed one yesterday, I think, the Superman one. And I know when those first came out, I would touch it. I bought it, took it home, and I touched it. Oh my God! And then I've got a black. It's like I took my finger and just put it in black ink and just perfectly put my fingerprint, with all the curls and everything on the logo. It turned that gold black where I touched it. It was tacky. The ink had not had enough time, I guess. And who knows? I would, if I had a beater copy, I'd be doing this to it just to see if it would do it still. Or if it was just that it was so fresh from the printer and with that gold metallic ink that it had not fully cured yet. I don't know to this day, but I was like, well, I won't be doing that again. Actually, on that same Legion one, the one that I ruined or at least damaged doing that by touching it after I bought it, there was one graded for a 10.0. And I said, wow, because that's sensitive and it's a big square bound. I have a Atom that's an Atom annual that's a square bound, and that's one reason I bought it, because it was slabbed and it was, I got it at a good price. And it's like, wow, to get something large like that, with some of those golden agers that were like 64, 96 pages, that's a lot to grade.
Yeah.
That's why they grade those differently than others. That's one reason. There's a lot more to grade than there is like a little 32 pager. But to get a higher grade with some of those thick books, kind of hard to do.
Yeah.
I've got with my safe, I've got one drawer I can't get into, and I know I've got a Blue Beetle #6 wartime cover. He's holding a rivet gun, and it's like in very fine condition. If I can, and there's only one staple holding all that together. It's like maybe 64 pages, one staple in the middle of it to hold that big ream of paper together, because it was wartime rationing. I didn't even know they did single stitched books. Try finding that book intact. It only had one staple holding it together. No wonder a lot of this Golden Age stuff is rare. Anyway, we're going to get out of here. Keep collecting, keep reading, keep watching the stars and all that good things. We'll be on tomorrow with some more hilarity. Bow for now.
Take it easy.
I'll give you the final word.
Read comics.
There you go.